accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
What I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rip my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Oh, man, there are so many different ways to go here, and I think I'm going to pick the worst one, just so you know. This is going to be unpopular, so don't tune out. I promise you the show will get better than this. I feel bad for Chris Cuomo. Okay? Okay? Does anybody else?
That's how you're going to open today.
Am I alone?
What the heck?
Or do you like Chris Cuomo? I mean, I don't like Chris Cuomo.
Don't, but I kind of get.
But do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I kind of think I see where you're going with this.
He's getting grilled hard, and I'm fine with it. Grill the guy. There are 100 different ways that I wish this guy would have gone down. Being associated with his brother is not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I mean, he made wrong decisions in counseling the guy as a journalist. He's not covering the story. That's kind of, to me, why I think I feel bad for him, because he's not covering it. Well, if he did cover it, so people would say, well, you're covering it bias. If he's not covering it, people are criticizing him for not covering it. That, to me, and then he's got to take a leave of absence. To me, that stuff's, I don't know. I'm just like, that's not really fair to the guy, even though there's pretty much 0% of him that I like.
Yeah, I always think about that. Do you remember that Subway video where he basically lost it on some people that were heckling him?
Yes.
Ever since then, I really just thought he showed his true colors in that video.
Yes.
And his arrogance. And I think that he thought arrogance was going to get him through this situation. And I think the chickens are kind of coming home to roost. So the people that are like down with Chris Cuomo, it's like, all right, I mean, that's kind of just like piling on. But also, I think he showed his ass a while ago. So
I think you're literally right. He did show his ass a while ago. Remember that naked video of him? He's walking around his house. You didn't even realize what you meant when you said that.
Not.
But
No.
yes, he did. And there's so many other reasons why I'm like, yeah, get the guy off the air. CNN is the evil empire.
Yeah.
Like, he's been doing everything in his power to prop his brother up at the beginning of COVID and his book. And he won an Emmy, and he's the greatest guy in the world. Why isn't President Trump doing what my brother did? I mean, everything about the guy and what he does as a journalist, I loathe. But this still feels a little bit unfair to me, unless it comes out that he was also sexually harassing people and was, well, here's the thing though. Like, if you want to make a case for this, he was providing cover for his brother during the nursing home scandal. There's lots of actual good investigative journalism that was done about that. And the fact that Andrew Cuomo, not Chris, Andrew Cuomo's administration in New York covered that up. They really did. There's no journalism going on there. I mean, Chris Cuomo totally covered for his brother on that. Anyway, I wanted to start the show by making you hate me. I'm Ryan Wiggins. I'm in for Annie Fry here this month, of course, and we're having fun here from noon to 1 every day during the week. Let's switch, though, really quick, because I think this is much more important than the Cuomo stuff. The Cuomo stuff is salacious. It's going to be on the news for a while, and now it's going to switch to Chris because Andrew's stepping down. He'll be out of the spotlight soon. I don't know much about this Kathy Hochul. New York's not, the most important thing in the world. Who's the governor of New York, other than the fact that, like we said yesterday, things in America start typically in LA or New York. They just do, and then they filter down to the rest of us. But other than that, I really don't care about what's going on in New York. But I'm kind of interested to see what this Kathy Hochul is going to be like. She seems like a career politician, which in most senses is gross.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to these kind of positions, I actually root for career politicians because they seem to just know instinctively how to appease the most people.
Yeah.
And as a Democrat, I'd rather see them do that. Instead of trying to push like hard left ideology, they're just sort of a manage, get through it, probably left of center, And that to me was, I thought what Joe Biden was going to be, is you thought he was going to be this sort of just go along, move with the flow, be fine. Everything is kind of going along, but he's so out of it. It makes you, there's another one that it's going to be unpopular. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
The guy is so out of his mind. Do you see the video recently of the Secret Service agent pointing, saying, "Go down here, sir." And then the Secret Service agent walks down the grass. So like the path, the concrete path ends and goes right. Biden is so out of it. He's just walking along, not thinking about it. Walking, just keeps walking right down the path. The way the Secret Service agent went, you can tell he doesn't know what he's doing. He has to walk through some bushes to get back into the White House. He's not there.
Yeah.
He's not there.
As a human to human, I feel bad for our president. Excuse me. But it makes me so angry and sad and scared for our country.
Yeah.
That we could elect somebody, because to your point, Biden was elected, voted for by a lot of people in this country because he was going to bring that status quo back, bring that order, bring a little bit of structure back, bring some calm to this perceived chaos.
Yes.
And he does not appear to be mentally fit for it. Yet we elected him to office, and
we think we did.
Yeah. And we're continuing to let him lead in air quotes, and that's terrifying.
I'll tell you what they're doing a really good job of, because you're right. He's not leading that. He's just there. He doesn't know what he's doing. Everybody's trying to just basically manage him. Whoever is actually doing the string pulling is doing a really good job of staying hidden.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea who that is. To me, it like when I think of a puppet master, Jen Psaki comes to mind, which doesn't make any sense. She's the press secretary. She has to sort of like provide the spin on what he's doing or saying. So it probably isn't her, but she's the only public face outside of Joe Biden that we know. We have no clue who's actually pulling the strings in this administration.
Oh, that just gave me like goosebumps. That's creepy. I mean, that's scary. That's some scary stuff right there.
And it could be anybody. I mean, people have said, well, maybe it's Barack Obama. Maybe it is. Maybe. We have no idea. Yeah. They've done a really good job of staying hidden. So when you hear things like, we're going to spend $1.2 trillion yesterday, that was the big news, right? Well, no, Andrew Cuomo was the big news, but we also spent $1.2 trillion. What does that make you do? You just sort of roll your eyes, because it's like, well, it used to be that a stimulus bill at the beginning of Obama's term, a stimulus bill was huge in the upper billions. So I think that first stimulus in 2008 was something like $860 billion. And they were shovel-ready projects, and everybody was going to get back to work. Now we're talking about 1.2 trillion like it's just another day. We're going so far into debt. We all know it, but we can't fathom how big these numbers are. So I actually wrote an article about this just to kind of put it in perspective, not to make a political point about, we should be spending it this way or we shouldn't be spending. It's just, how much is $1 trillion? And so I'm trying to break this down into manageable numbers, because when you say it, it's almost like it's so monopoly that it's not even real. So just that bill yesterday, and this article is posted at 971talk.com already, I believe, right? It's
it
up?
Is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. If the Senate had decided to send everybody more checks, so instead of spending $1.2 trillion, it's your money, we get that, but they're sending it back to you. You would have made $4,729 from that one bill.
Yowza. Per person, per
American. Person. So if you're married, double that. That doesn't sound like a lot, because they've already been doing this. They've already been sending out these checks so much, but that's still a pretty big check. That's just that one bill, though.
Well, and that's our own money, right? So basically, each individual American has funded about over $4,000 of the stimulus package.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So
spending.
Yeah. And that's a good point, is that I'm framing it like if they're sending it back to you, but ultimately what we'd really want is them to just not have it in the first place, because they're going to charge a surcharge for them to take it from you, manage it, then send it back to you. But just for the sake of argument, that's what a check would be if they had just decided to send it back to you. So, but that doesn't stop. So we're going to put 2020 spending aside. Trump spent a whole bunch of money too. I'm not letting him off the hook for this, but we're just focusing on 2021 right now because that's where we're at, and that's the administration that we're in, and there's more to come. They just passed it yesterday, all over the news today. 3.5 trillion is what they want to spend next. They just got done spending 1.2. Now they want to spend 3.5. Joe Manchin, it's becoming theater. It's up right now on CNN. It's becoming theater because he's saying, "Oh no, we're not going to spend 3.5. That's too crazy." It looks like they're just saying, "Okay, Joe, look, here's what we'll do. We'll come out. We'll say we're going to spend 3.5 trillion. You say that's too much. We'll spend 2 trillion and you'll look like a hero." And I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. But here's what's already been spent. 1.9 trillion. This is just this year. 1.9 trillion on failed state bailouts. So if you ran your state well financially, you didn't get much or as much of this money. But if you're a failed state, aka a blue state, you got part of $1.9 trillion of taxpayer money. If they had not spent that, that's $7,489 for you. Double that if you're married. Here's another one. 1.1 trillion was spent on basically Green New Deal projects. That's another $4,335 in your pocket. Double that if you're married. And this one was already spent. So they're talking about another 3.5 trillion. This one was already spent, 3.5 trillion on social safety net projects on top of the ones that already exist. So all the things that already exist as social safety nets, this was 3.5 trillion more of that. That's $13,795 that would have come back to you or not been spent by you at all. Total that up just this year, if they had decided to do nothing. And in the article, I say, if they had decided to just sit down on C-SPAN and have a nacho eating contest and done nothing else, it would have saved you $30,000 per person, over $60,000 per couple.
Wow.
Now, nobody in their right mind is going to look at government and say, you know what? I want you to take $60,000 from my family and go spend it on pretty much whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But that's what we vote for. That's what we're voting for when we're voting for Democrats, because that's all they do. There is no solution that they have that doesn't involve taking money from you and redistributing it to the people that they deem are more worthy than you to have that money.
Well, and I think you just highlighted in the blue state bailouts, the overarching theme of this administration and what appears to be the Democratic platform in general is the more you work and balance a budget, the more you're going to suffer.
Yes.
Like the less money you're going to get to keep in your pocket.
You're exactly right. And that is shown on a state level and that is shown on an individual level. Mm-hmm. Because if you've been working this whole time and making money, you have still paid your taxes. Mm-hmm. And by the way, your money doesn't go as far now because as of this month, did you see the inflation index? Let me read that headline before we get to a break here. July consumer prices jumped 5.4%. 5.4% in 1 month. Did you get a raise of 5.4% this month?
I did not.
No, I bet you probably didn't, let alone all the other months that have led up to this month. That's how far your money goes. It doesn't go nearly as far as it did. And they're spending more of it, which will make it just be worse. It'll make it worse. You'll be able to buy less at the grocery store by the end of this year than you can right now. I guarantee it. Let's talk to Illinois policy next. We got some, let's say we got good news and then we'll trick you into staying around. 97.1 FM Talk.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The economy right now has us all a little, head tilted to the side, squinty eyes. What's going to happen next? If you're somebody who is nearing retirement, it can be a little scary. It can be a little frightening to not know what's going to happen next and to fear a major fluctuation in what you've saved. Call Thomas Helbig. He can make you have that confidence, that peace of mind that you need to know that all of the retirement savings that you've built up for yourself will be there to provide for you in your retirement years and leave a legacy for your heirs. 314-993-9494. That's the number to call to get a free, no cost, no obligation retirement review. talking to Thomas Helbig to be a part of the 97.1 audience, the Annie Fry Show audience, who has worked with Thomas Helbig in the Retirement Advisor Group, the people who have never lost a penny as a client of Thomas Helbig. That's what he is proud of, and you need to be a part of that. All you got to do is call 314-993-9494 and ask for that retirement review. You can visit him online at retirementkey.com.
Hey, Gary, how are things?
Things are great, but I crushed my mortgage payment with owning without even leaving my couch. I got a no closing cost refi at a great low rate, and owning did it all in less than 3 weeks. It was easy, no muss, no fuss.
Be like Gary. Call Owning at 855-5-OWNING and crush your mortgage payment with today's 15-year fixed refi at 1.875% rated APR with no closing costs. None. Zero. Even if you've refinanced recently, call 855-5-OWNING and let us crush your monthly payment even more. That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
NMLS 2611, subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
You can crush it too with a 15-year fixed 1.875% rated APR with absolutely no closing cost.
That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, professional painting. My favorite thing about CertaPro, you do not have to do the painting. I was hooked several years ago because I did get a free estimate, just like I'm encouraging you to do at CertaPro.com. They came over. It was a kitchen job, that first job inside a house that I used to own in South City. They did the project so efficiently, so effectively. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro.com to get your free estimate today. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting. Check them out today, CertaPro.com. Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. They protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Hey, natural gas leaks can be very dangerous if you're not careful. If you smell the odor of natural gas, leave it to the professionals to track it down. Warn others and leave the building immediately. Make sure you call your gas company from another location.
A tip from your friends at Mango.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
97.1 is your home for independent thought. That's why 97.1 is the #1 talk station in St. Louis. It's the place for ideas in a country facing challenges like never before.
Bad blood. You know it used to be mad love.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
Hey, I can't take it back. Look where I'm at. We was OG like DOC, remember that.
This is not what I listen to in my spare time.
You picked it.
If I know.
You texted me first thing this morning and said, I need to hear Bad Blood by T Swift.
Wait,
At
this is Taylor
12:26.
Swift? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you did. Come on.
Hey, Bad Blood. There's a band called Bastille.
Yeah.
That has a
love
song
them.
called Bad Blood also.
Yes,
Way better
love
than
that
this
song.
Bad Blood.
I actually love Bastille a lot.
Okay. Well, now tomorrow
I
maybe
also
we can
love
get.
T Swift though.
Ugh. Gosh. It's catchy. I'll give her that.
Yep.
I mean, everything
You
she
love
does
it.
is actually pretty good. I just don't ever know it's her. Just like Justin Bieber.
Same. Love
Anytime
it.
a Bieber song comes on, I don't know that it's him, but I go, oh, that's kind of catchy.
Yep.
And then somebody goes, that's Justin Bieber. So I'm a believer. Also, people are texting me.
I'm just gonna let that hang out there.
People are texting me. Just clarification on the inflation numbers, because a couple people pointed this out. And you're right. So let me clarify. 5.4% is the rolling average. That's over last year. So last July of 2020, prices are 5.4% higher now than they were then. It's actually about a 0.5% per month that it goes up.
Okay.
So we're talking about if that average stays, which it has for most of this year, that by the end of this year, you're talking about another 5% over last December 2020. So it's not good news. It's just a little bit of clarification on how that works. Also, Chris pointed out on our Facebook page, Ryan, instead of saying we could have 30,000 come to us, you need to say the government just added $30,000 to your mortgage. That's pretty true.
Yeah,
that's pretty true. There's a lot of ways to parse that out. It's just it's the number thing gets to me, the trillion thing, because you just start saying bigger and bigger numbers, and they're so huge that we don't even know what they are anymore.
It starts to feel meaningless. We were talking about unemployment yesterday and why we're having such a hard time getting people back in the workforce. But have we as a society devalued the dollar to the point where people aren't valuing work and understanding like what money actually is?
Oh yeah.
And it's slowly ticking up and we're seeing these big numbers, and it's a lot. Even if you're following it, it's a lot to wrap your head around. I think people just kind of tune out.
I do too. And Kilmeade was talking about this. Fox News was talking about this today. And we'll get to Adam Schuster in a second. So thanks for hanging on. But this 3.5 trillion that they're not going to do. It's just like any politician does. Trump did it all the time. He'd start big and then negotiate down to the middle. Well, you start big because your goal is the middle. So they're going to spend probably another 1 point something or $2 trillion. But most of it is social stuff. So this isn't infrastructure. This isn't roads and bridges. And some of the things in that infrastructure bill, they're not even really infrastructure either. But these things will definitely not be. They're going to expand that welfare state like you've never seen before. And so this was the goal. You get people hooked, and then you just keep passing stuff. And that's what they're going to do. With that in mind, let's talk to Adam Schuster from Illinois Policy. Thanks for hanging on the line, Adam. How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Good. So let's talk about Illinois. Let's bring this down to a local level. You guys have such a great finger on the pulse of what makes Illinois tick, what the problems are, what the solutions are. One of those problems and solutions that you guys have regards the Illinois pension debt. We've always talked about this, but it's just hit a new high. What's going on?
Yeah, that's right. So it seems every year now, Illinois pension debt hits a record high. And most recently, the state just put out a report that by their calculations, the shortfall in the 5 pension funds run by the state of Illinois is more than $144 billion. Now, for context, that's $144 billion, record high pension debt, despite the fact that taxpayer contributions to those pensions have been rapidly increasing for the past 20 years. We've had 2 significant income tax hikes just in the last decade, mostly with the money going to pensions. And prior to COVID-19, and then even really sort of after, we've had a booming stock market, and pension funds, much like your 401k, are invested. And so when markets are doing well, you expect them to do well. But the fact that we have all these things going for us, more money than ever going into the funds, booming stock markets, and the debt is still rising, just shows how unsustainable this problem is, and how deeply in need we are of true reform, which can only happen if our politicians let people vote on a constitutional amendment for pension reform.
Adam, has any state or even municipality been in this situation before? Is there anywhere we can look to say, well, this is how they dealt with it, or this is a solution that we could apply to this?
Yes, and real quick, there's one example of it done right, but before we get there, I think it's important for people to understand what happens if this is done wrong. And for that, there's multiple examples from California at the local government level, as well as an example from Central Falls, Rhode Island, where pension funds have driven municipalities into bankruptcy. And what happens in that scenario is pensioners see massive cuts in their benefits. In Central Falls, Rhode Island, it was up to 55%, including for current retirees, and taxpayers see declining services along with higher taxes. So this is a problem that we want to solve before it gets to that point. And for how we do that, I would say look to Arizona. So Arizona is the only state that has done a constitutional amendment to allow for pension reform, because they had a pension clause similar to Illinois that is very restrictive and didn't allow changes to both earned benefits or even the future growth rate in benefits. And so that second part, the prohibition on changing things, even on a going forward basis for retirees and current employees, is what we need to change. We should still preserve the benefits for work already performed, but we need to have the flexibility on a going forward basis to make sure that those benefits are affordable and sustainable. That's important for taxpayers, but it's also important for that pensioner who's ultimately, relying on that money being in the fund when they retire. And, people like to say pensions are a promise, but unless it's financially sustainable, it's an empty promise.
Adam Schuster, Director of Budget and Tax Research at the Illinois Policy Institute. You guys have this plan. I mean, this is what you guys do. You're a think tank and you come up with plans that'll sort of make everybody happy. This is one of them we've talked with you a lot about. Does it include a constitutional amendment? Is that something that has to happen before a plan like this could happen in Illinois?
Yes. So the way that I would think about it right now is this 1970 clause in our Constitution is a pair of fiscal handcuffs foisted onto us by prior generations that prevents us from, managing our budgets in a way that makes them sustainable, that makes the tax burden affordable for taxpayers. This clause, which, by the way, Mike Madigan was a delegate and had a hand in putting in place, voted for it, prevents us from doing the things we need to fix this for everyone. So it's not serving the interests of taxpayers. It's not serving the interests of public workers, whose retirement funds are at risk of insolvency. And so what we need to do is amend that Constitution, which requires the amendment being placed on the ballot by the General Assembly, and then it requires voters to approve it. And only then, once we've changed this clause, can we make the changes that we need to get the system under control.
Has a constitutional amendment ever been on the ballot in Illinois, or is there a way to get it on the ballot without the government is there a way that the voters themselves could put it on the ballot?
So we haven't had a pension amendment on. We had the progressive income tax amendment, and a few years before that, we had something called the lockbox amendment. Unfortunately, there is no way to get this type of constitutional amendment on the ballot without the General Assembly voting for it, because under our state constitution, voter-initiated amendments or petition-initiated amendments can only be about changing basically the size or structure of our state legislature. So that's the only thing that people are allowed to initiate. And anything else, if we want to change our constitution, basically our politicians need to give us that option. They need to allow the people to vote on the amendment. And they would not themselves, even have to support the plan theoretically, right? But they offered one solution, or in their view, solution to Illinois' fiscal challenges, which was this Pandora's box of never-ending tax hikes through the progressive tax amendment. Voters said no to that because they didn't trust politicians with their money. And so the right thing to do at this point would be to give them an alternative, because there really is only one alternative to consistent tax hikes, and that's pension reform. So they need to let us vote on it.
Yeah, I guess it surprises me that our politicians wouldn't allow this to go to the ballot, and not because we're a fiscally responsible state and we are always looking for ways to save money, but this provides cover for politicians. They are always going to think about themselves first. But if they were to do this, they wouldn't be saying, I'm supporting this plan. They're just allowing the voters to vote on it.
That's exactly right. And the alternative is that we stay with the status quo. And the status quo in Illinois is tax hikes year after year, income tax hikes, property tax hikes, both of which are being driven by pensions. Because in addition to the $144 billion in state pension debt, we have another $75 billion in local pension debt. So never-ending tax hikes. As people are being asked to pay more, they're getting less back from their government. So at the state level, we're seeing crowd out of social service spending on the poor and vulnerable, higher education spending. At the city level, we're seeing police officers, firefighters laid off to make current pension payments. And this is an unsustainable status quo. It's failing the residents, and ultimately it's going to fail public workers themselves because we're not giving them a sustainable retirement.
Adam Schuster, Director of Budget and Tax Research at the Illinois Policy Institute. Let me get to this headline, too, before we run out of time with you. Pritzker claims balanced budgets, but state reports show that he's wrong. So I guess we don't actually have a balanced budget again.
That's right. This has been a consistent problem with Governor Pritzker. He seems to have a lot of trouble telling people the truth about state finances when he's talking in the media or when he's talking to the public. But thankfully, when they're doing official reports, they can get in trouble with the SEC or in trouble with investors if they lie in this financial reporting. And so it often comes with a lag. But when we look at these reports, the state itself admits to multi-billion-dollar deficits each year that Governor Pritzker's been in office. So he should stop, trying to claim credit for a job he hasn't done yet. And instead of doing that, get serious about actually doing what you said you've done.
Oh, but he's looking to keep his job. He can say whatever he wants, right?
That's right. And that's unfortunately why we have politicians saying one thing to the public and another thing when they're talking to bond buyers.
Yeah, exactly. Adam Schuster, thanks for being with us, Director of Budget and Tax Research at Illinois Policy Institute. Appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
I'm going to read a tweet to you. This is about Illinois, Trish. See if you can guess who said this.
Okay.
Chicago in 2021, 39 mass shootings, 1,000 people shot, 126 fatally, nearly 80% of them black. But Lightfoot, Pritzker, and the Dems continue to wage war on the police, not on the gangbangers. Defend, don't defund the police. Support the police and save black lives. Any guesses?
No.
Rod Blagojevich.
Oh, boy.
The dude.
That, if I would have guessed, it wouldn't have been
It would not have been him.
Mm-mm.
The dude has flipped. I don't know if he's trying to come back in politics or what, but he does not sound like the Democrat of 10 years ago that he was.
That hair dye wore off, and now he's starting to think straight.
Yeah, maybe it was the hair dye. Maybe it was. It was affecting his brain. But I like it. I got to say, I like it. Rod Blagojevich there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, 97.1 FM Talk. I'm Ryan Wiggins, in for Annie Fry.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
If you've heard of this new service, book a call. What is it? It's a free 15-minute phone call with an attorney at Beck & Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law. How can you benefit from this? You have a complicated legal concern and you don't know what to do about it. You're overwhelmed with conflicting advice and don't know who to trust. Or maybe you have a lot of questions, but you just don't know where to start. I can totally relate to that. Or maybe you're afraid you're going to be pressured to take action before you're ready. Well, right now I have great news for you. Free, uninterrupted time with an experienced attorney. You're going to discuss your needs and concerns, and the attorney will likely ask you some clarifying questions to get to the real problem. This can determine if the firm can help you. You're going to have confidence by doing this, and assuming that the firm can help, they're going to invite you to come in for a more in-depth consultation. You can reach out to them at 636-946-7899 and talk to the people at Beck & Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law, which began 47 years ago. They have attorneys who can help you. 636-946-7899 or go online to beckelderlaw.com.
For a limited time, Edwards Carpet is offering a thick 50-ounce carpet with a 20-year non-prorated warranty for just $3.99 a square foot, completely installed with pad, furniture moving, and take-up. With prices skyrocketing, this will be your last chance on a deal like this, so come on down to Edwards Carpet.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Have a second floor or area of your home that is always hot or just not comfortable? Air Comfort Service has been solving comfort problems for 52 years. Contact them for a solution. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO. or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you have been dragging your feet, waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your credit card debt, start that overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call. Interest rates are still at historic lows and home values are at record levels. I am here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your dream home or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I hate expensive add-ons and fees, and I will give you straight answers while we customize a loan that perfectly fits your needs. So call me directly while rates are in the twos. 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC 224143 NMLS 250353 APRs in the twos.
At Performance Eye Care, we put the utmost care in our eye exams. If you're avoiding your eye appointment because you fear the dreaded air puff, or you're scared of leaving with dilated eyes for the rest of the day, worry no more. By utilizing the latest technology, we've been able to eliminate the uncomfortable air puff, and we don't need to dilate your eyes. That means no anticipatory blinking and no discomfort. Just a simple state-of-the-art instrument yielding more accurate results. At Performance Eye Care, we also care about your time. That's why we offer same-day appointments with flexible scheduling. Now is the time to schedule your child's back-to-school eye exam. Kids typically don't know if they can't see well and have rapid changes to eyesight as they grow. Children need to see an eye doctor every year. You can secure your back-to-school appointment with one of our friendly eye care professionals at any of our 8 metro area locations on both sides of the river. Now at performanceeyecare.com. That's performanceeyecare.com.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Join the conversation digitally. Download the Odyssey app and tune into the #1 talk station in St. Louis at any time.
Is this Taylor Swift?
It is not.
Heidi Klum? Am I getting closer?
You are actually getting closer.
She's not a singer, is she?
No, she's not.
See, I don't know that much about pop culture. I do know that this sounds like Bieber to me. Here's a quote for you. It's a shame we don't have this. It's a shame we don't have this sound. I think it exists somewhere out there in the ether. Yeah, apparently yesterday after Andrew Cuomo was resigning from the job for sexual harassment, and not for the right reasons, resigning for just that reason, not for killing people. Biden comes out and says, hey, Cuomo did a hell of a job.
Ay. This guy.
If you're a Biden handler, do you just try to hide him by the fireplace all day?
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of what they do.
That's
but
exactly what you do.
You can't do it 100% of the time. Man, Cuomo did a hell of a job. Of all the things to say yesterday, look, put aside the sexual harassment. Say that's not even on the table. Looking over the last 12 months of what Cuomo's done, he has done anything but a hell of a job. He's done terrible. Not only are, the nursing home deaths, like we've covered that. We've covered that. But people are leaving that state in droves. People can't get out of New York fast enough. And he did a hell of a job. And he picked yesterday to say that. Sorry, that story just cracks me up when I see that stuff. Because you just picture all these people scrambling around him. Oh, no, what did he say? Jen Psaki's trying to provide cover for him all the time. Here's another crazy, crazy story that I wanted to get to today. I guarantee that 90% of the people have not even heard that this is a thing. Here's the headline from Zero Hedge. One asteroid heading toward Earth has enough precious metal in it to make every person alive a billionaire.
Oh.
Is that not wild?
Yeah.
So apparently this asteroid has been around, it's been around for who knows how long, but we discovered it as a people in 1852. It is 124 miles wide and is set to be the primary focus of NASA's next mission, which will take place basically 1 year from now, August 2022. They're going to try to see if they can, I guess, harness this thing. And I don't know if I think this is part of the space race, is this kind of stuff. Is because there's all this stuff in space and, controlling satellites and information and everything that goes with it, that I think, you can see Richard Branson doing is it Branson or Bronson? It's Branson, isn't it? I always want to say Bronson, like the movie star. I think it's Branson.
Okay.
I think he is actually doing just a tourism thing. But I think the other guys, Bezos and Elon Musk, we know, are doing this for pure, power profit. And this kind of stuff is why, because if you could harness this asteroid, which apparently has been around for a long time, it's been around for over 100 years, 160 something years now that we've known that this is here, that NASA, it's close enough that NASA is going to send a mission to do something with it. If you could harness that, I mean, the headline's stupid: make every person alive a billionaire. Nobody's going to send up a team, spend billions of their own dollars,
and then give it all back to everybody.
Everybody's a millionaire now. Oh, also, all of your houses cost trillions of dollars now because everybody has so much money.
Which
it doesn't
is
make
the
any sense.
direction we're headed anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just such a weird story. If you have that many precious metals on this one asteroid, they no longer are precious metals, first of all, but that also solves all these problems. There's so many problems with enough microchips and stuff for, not just cell phones, but cars, appliances. It's one of the reasons there's such a problem with the supply chain. We've talked about the worker shortage. That's also a problem, but they also just can't get the materials right now.
So did I hear that we have in this country access to some of those natural resources that we're not allowed to touch?
Yes.
So we're waiting on China?
That's true. Yes, that's true. And Bill Gates saw this the other day too. Bill Gates, along with a couple other billionaires, are starting some project in Greenland to mine there. And it's so funny, all the stupid stuff that people were saying, oh, Trump wants to buy Greenland. That's why he was saying, look, let's buy Greenland. That right there is why. It wasn't a stupid assertion.
He was like, let's own this.
Yes.
So whenever we start mining it.
He's looking at it economically. And now that's exactly what's happening. So yeah, all this it's just a weird story related to what you're saying, Trish. Here's a headline for you. White House calls on OPEC to boost production as gas prices rise. Our own White House, that has shut down our own pipelines, is calling on OPEC in the Middle East to boost production because we need more gas because the prices are too high. We've also, this one gets no attention. We always talk about the pipeline because so many people were instantly put out of work. Right. You had images, you could see, you talked to those people. What doesn't get talked about at all with this administration is the fact that there are all of these leases on federal land that we allow oil companies to drill on. But you got to get a lease because it's federal land. They are letting those expire left and right in the Southwest right now, Arizona, New Mexico, especially New Mexico and Western Texas. And they're not letting people continue to drill, even though the infrastructure, the rigs are already in place. You're not protecting the land. You're just letting the lease expire and not letting people drill anymore in the United States so that we can call on OPEC to boost production. It's so crazy that I don't know how to frame it any other way than to say that these people really are actively trying to destroy the United States economy and thereby destroy the United States. Yeah. Everything that they're doing points to that. We try to find ulterior motives. We try to say, well, maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't realize that 7,000 people a day are coming across the border with COVID. Maybe they just don't know. They know. They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what they're doing. And everything they do is pointing to them trying to destroy us from within. I can't believe that I'm having to say that, but we all know it. We don't want to believe it, but that's really what's happening.
Yeah.
Is the people who are in the White House right now, and generally in Congress, controlling the House and the Senate, at least for another year and a half, they don't want the United States to succeed. And that's what I think when we talk about systemic racism and systemic this and systemic that, they use the word systemic because they want to destroy the whole system. They don't want to make it better. They want to destroy it and rebuild it with something else that's not America. And it's very, 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 very sad. A couple other headlines to hit before we run out of time here. These all are in that same vein.
I was just thinking, does he have anything happy over there? Like, you got a puppy
we can talk
story,
about, let's talk about, let me look up puppies.
Thank you.
Just going to type in puppies. P-U-P-P-I-E-S. That's how you spell it.
Cute and soft.
Top headline. There's no headline because there's no news on puppies. Mama dog at Minnesota Animal Rescue adopts orphan puppies.
Oh
my
you.
gosh.
Yay.
Isn't that great? Now back to Joe Biden. NSA Inspector General investigating Tucker Carlson spying claims. I bet they find that they did nothing wrong. I've investigated myself and find myself to be clean.
We have looked into this and it's come back inconclusive. Like, we're going to call it a draw.
The NSA Inspector General is investigating Tucker Carlson spying claims. God bless Tucker Carlson. That dude is getting more and more bold and coming out and saying stuff that nobody even at Fox will say.
He's trying.
I love it. And he's forcing things like this to happen. Because if this has probably been going on for who knows how long. I mean, really, who knows how long? I have no idea. This could have been going on for 100 years. Well, not through the internet, but, they could have been spying on American citizens in ways we have no clue that this has been going on.
Hence the word spying.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea,
right,
that it's spying. And we know that it happened to Trump. Trump, again, another one where he came out and said, well, they tapped my phones. Like, that was the first week in office. He said something like that, and everybody goes, whoa, this is crazy. Well, it looks like he was right. It was the whole Carter Page thing.
Right.
How many times do we have to see this guy be right? Which makes you wonder about investigation or the election investigations that are going on. We'll continue to follow those. Go ahead.
I was just thinking it's really hard to know what to believe because I was watching Colbert last night and Brian Stelter has added like 12 new chapters to his hoax book about how Fox News is a shill for the right and how everything they're putting out is propaganda. And that's super mainstream too. So you've got half the country hearing people like Brian Stelter say everything you hear on Fox is BS. And then you've got outlets like Fox. I mean, and they threw One American News under the bus and Newsmax. I'm sorry to derail you here, but it's just really hard to be an American citizen and know how, a human being and know what to believe is going on in this country.
Totally agree. And that's why I hope that when, you just present the facts and hope that people can find, but when I say things like, I think the administration's trying to destroy the country, prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, point to something they're doing that you think is good for the country. If you're on the left, you're going to say something about equality. You're going to say something about sort of social issue equality. That's what you're probably going to say. But let's talk about economics. Let's talk about the border. Let's talk about a whole bunch of issues that let's talk about energy. I mean, we were just talking about this. All of these issues point to the fact that they don't want America to be at the center of these things. They're outsourcing our economy as much as they possibly can. Now, I'm working on a piece too, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, that I just put a piece up about what is $1 trillion, basically. What does all this spending mean if you bring it down to levels that we can all understand? So check that out at 971talk.com. I'm working on another one that is taking a little bit longer because I want to research this. I want to get it right. It's actually a bit of good news. It's one of the few things that I see the Biden administration not completely selling out America on. But I think it's because they're afraid of China. I don't think they love China as much as I don't know how to phrase
it's not
that
like
because
they're trying to boost China up. They're scared of repercussions if they don't.
Well, it's hard because China spends so much money on people and businesses and politicians in this country that some of them are just bought and sold. They're gone. But I don't know that all of them are. And I'm seeing Biden do something right now that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's actually decent. It's not as good as I would hope. It's not as strong as I would hope in action against China, but hang on with me. I'm working on that one. Maybe I'll even have it by tomorrow or the end of this week. Thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully you're not too upset about everything except for the puppy story. The puppy story you can get by rewinding, by the way. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, but
it's worth a second
if
listen,
you
though.
want to hear the 15 seconds we spent on the puppy
It's a real
story.
bright spot of the morning.
It really was.
Afternoon.
Dana Lash is coming up next, and we will be with you again tomorrow from noon to 1 here on 97.1 FM Talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
So much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain.
Did you know that Lakeside Renovation and Design does stamped concrete? If you're looking to improve that aesthetic indoors and outdoors, Lakeside Renovation and Design is the way to go. They are the trusted name for full-scale remodels, transforming homes both inside and out. You've got a huge project renovation that you want to do? Call Lakeside at 636-978-5000. Got a little project that you want to have done by the pros. Don't want to mess with it yourself. You want to make sure that it's done right and done right the first time. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design and get started today. 636-978-5000. Online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. When you call Lakeside, you're going to be talking to a company that employs over 100 of the very best local St. Louisans that are committed to doing the job right each and every time, backed by a lifetime workmanship warranty on top of a manufacturer's warranty. Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000. Online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com.
It's time to get back together. Back to group hugs and group hangs. Dining in with family and going out with friends. But to get back to the things we love safely, we need to get vaccinated. COVID-19 vaccines are free and proven effective. But if you still have questions, that's okay. It's your choice. Go to mostopscovid.com or call 877-435-8411 to get answers and find a vaccine near you. Because we're stronger together.
Hank Williams Jr.
Are you ready for the contract?
Live in concert.
It's a family tradition.
The Bad Boy.
Country boy can survive.
Live and loud.
Didn't take me long to learn that I was born to do it.
Saturday, August 14th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena.
All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster.com.
One unforgettable night, two legendary stars, Tracy Lawrence.
The world had a front porch.
And on the same night, Neil McCoy.
What really turns
Saturday, October 23rd, the Family Arena. Tracy Lawrence
Baby, a Birmingham.
and Neil McCoy.
All she's gotta do.
Get tickets now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Tracy Lawrence and Neil McCoy.
Spectrum Business called their competitors to see if any of them could beat Spectrum's Business Internet Plus phone offer for $69.98 per month with no added phone taxes or fees. Here are real quotes from the competition.
How are they pulling in no fees and taxes? That's madness.
I would 100% go with Spectrum.
Even the competition recommends Spectrum Business. Call 855-339-5344 and switch to Spectrum Business today.
Competitor quotes from actual phone conversations. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Call for
KFTK FM Florissant. Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group. 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Continuing debate on spending. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Senate Democrats this morning advancing the framework to spend $3.5 trillion on so-called human infrastructure, like paid family and medical leave, universal pre-K, and tuition-free community college.
But some of the more moderate Democrats, like West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin and Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema, have concerns about this level of spending. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said to some Democrats the plan's too much. For others, it's too little.
We are going to all come together to get something done. It will have every part of the Biden plan in a big, bold, robust way.
Tuesday, a more than $1 trillion infrastructure package passed the Senate with Republican support.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he does not believe Republicans will let the U.S. default on its debt. Without congressional action, the government could reach its current borrowing capacity in October. The Taliban continues gaining ground in Afghanistan.
U.S. officials say U.S. intelligence agencies believe Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, could fall to Taliban control in as little as 3 months. A previous assessment had estimated 6 months. One official tells Fox News Kabul could be surrounded within 30 days, with a civil war following. But developments are considered hard to predict. The Taliban has captured a string of cities in recent days as US forces withdraw from Afghanistan.
Fox's Simon Owen in London. The Pacific Northwest is bracing for another major multi-day heat wave just 5 weeks after temperatures soared in record-shattering hot weather that killed many vulnerable people in June. The National Weather Service in Portland says temperatures in Oregon could hit 110 before a weekend cool down. Meantime, Tropical Storm Fred could bring heavy rain and strong winds to Florida this weekend. America's listening to Fox News.
Ad paid for by Omega Auto Care. Attention eligible vehicle owners. If you bought an auto warranty in the last year, you paid too much, and you probably didn't get bumper-to-bumper coverage or maintenance included. So what are you actually paying for? What if we told you that you could get all these benefits and more for 40% less per month than what the other guys are charging? In these hard economic times, we have auto insurance for accidents, but when unexpected repair bills hit, our biggest expenses can be our cars. So why overpay for an auto warranty? If you own a car, truck, or SUV made from 2000 to today, you can stop paying for covered repairs. That's right, bumper-to-bumper coverage with maintenance included. Call now to find out if your car qualifies. 800-987-2905. Already have an auto warranty? No problem. Call us and we'll help you save instantly. Call today to get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. And ask about our free roadside assistance. 800-987-2905. That's 800-987-2905. Again, 800-987-2905.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summer weather still in place as we go through this Wednesday afternoon. It's hot, it's humid, it's breezy. We'll watch the sky for some spot thunderstorms. For the most part, fast movers. 95 for the high. Tonight, clear skies, very humid. 78 Thursday, hot and humid. A couple of spot thunderstorms again possible. 95 scattered storms and 90 on Friday. Cooler for the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Want to know what's really going on in the world? We know you won't hear it all, so we're highlighting as it happens on the socials. Follow 97.1 on Twitter and Facebook and weigh in. They can't ban all of us. It's the world, the country, and the community. And it's happening fast. With local and national guests answering the questions that matter. The team at 97.1 is digging in and pushing back. On Twitter and Facebook. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hello, Marvin Mitchell here from Compass Retirement Solutions. Did you know that the average 3-year CD rate in the area was less than 1%? That's why we are excited to offer you several accounts that are short-term and pay better than bank rates. For example, we currently have a 3-year account paying 2.4% and a 5-year account paying 3.5% per year guaranteed. What a great place for your lazy money. You know, the money that you don't plan to use for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, terms and conditions do apply. So for more information, call 314-373-1598. Again, call 314-373-1598. This is Marvin Mitchell, and we would like to put your lazy money to work for you. Call 314-373-1598.
Guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Rates can change without notice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock in Grafton, Illinois. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit graftonloadingdock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Sitting in for Annie is Dana Lash.
The Dana Show.
This idea that you're not going to answer anyone's questions or provide any honest data when you have thousands of people on your staff and you get our tax dollars to make sure this information is accurate, you wouldn't tolerate this in any other workplace. You know why we don't have interstellar space travel and all of this other stuff? Because we have some of the stupidest creatures ever known to creation that live on this planet. That's why. I just have zero faith in humankind. This is why I like dogs way better. They're infinitely nicer creatures.
The Dana Show.
Powers to intervene in states like Texas and Florida where they are banning mask mandates?
I don't believe that I do thus far. We're checking that. But there are on federal workforce I can. And I think that people should understand, seeing little kids, 4, 5, 6 years old in hospitals on ventilators, and some of them passing, not many, but some of them passing. It's almost, it's just, well, I should not characterize beyond that.
What is he referring to here? No idea. That's what I would like to know. What is he referring to? No idea. Kids being on ventilators and they're all dying. This is just fear porn is what this is. Welcome to the show. I'm Dana Lash, DanaLash.com. A lot to discuss today. So quick note. Your girl has vertigo today, pretty hardcore. So whenever it's allergy season, yay, we're getting ready for cedar season here in Texas. So whenever that happens, I usually end up getting a lot of my ears get clogged up. Yesterday it was really bad. So today I'm kind of sideways, like literally. So, and I'm just a little bit chiller today, but just FYI, if it seems that I'm a little bit more chill, it's because I am crazy dizzy. So just FYI, like the fact that I'm sitting upright in this chair is amazing because it's pretty severe today. Every now and then. It didn't happen until I had sinus surgery, and then I would have it. All right. So I have a number of things that we need to hit today. It's good to be with you guys today. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. I'm kind of sad that time's going so fast because my kids are going to be going back to school. One of my kids goes back to school tomorrow, and I'm kind of bummed out about it. And then I have another one who's going to be moving back to campus, and I'm totally bummed out about that too. So first and foremost, there's a lot of stuff that we can get into with the back and forth mask fighting. And I had a conversation with a friend this morning, and it really does seem like those areas, because the federal government obviously can only go so far and they can only do so much. And so they're trying to offset their lack of power by using a lot of these teachers unions and school boards in these areas to go after and really push these mask mandates. Now, I know that who's the judge here in Dallas? I purposefully make a point to not remember his name. He wants to be governor so bad. He's like a little tyrant. Leroy Jenkins? Oh, sorry. Leroy Jenkins. It fits. Clay Jenkins. He is that guy. He's the modern day that guy. So he wants to stop this mask banning or the banning of having a mandate. Here's the thing. I'm going to explain this very slowly, not just because I have crazy vertigo right now. I'm going to explain this very slowly. Having a ban on mandating masks isn't the same thing as a ban on wearing a mask. Thank you. If there is a ban on mandating masks, that means that the government can't make you wear a mask. It doesn't mean that you can't wear a mask, right? Yes. Why do we have to keep having the same conversation with people? People who don't understand this shouldn't be anywhere near children. I think some people who don't understand this are too stupid to educate children. So you have Leroy Clay Jenkins, he's insistent upon undoing the mask mandate. He decided to, because he's the judge in Dallas County, right? And so he's been very, very upset with the lack of a mask mandate. So he sued Texas Governor Greg Abbott over it, and then he won a temporary restraining order against the mask mandate ban, the ban on mandates. So Jenkins asked the judge to block Abbott from enforcing the executive order. Now, it's all temporary, and we'll see how this goes out. And Clay Jenkins is the guy who he hates Greg Abbott. He's mad. Clay Jenkins is mad that he's never going to be governor ever. He's just an angry, bitter, everyone put a face diaper on kind of man. That's Clay Jenkins. So there are a couple of others. There are some schools in Florida that are doing the same thing. Parents just want to have the ability to make the determination for themselves. My favorite stupid argument so far today, well, actually it was yesterday, were the people saying, I thought conservatives love limited government, but you got Ron DeSantis out there. Ron DeSantis doesn't think he's trying to, this is top-down government. I thought you guys love limited government. What? Wait, you mean, how do you think it's limited government to deny parents and localities the ability to make these determinations for their own children? How is it limited government to ban a parent from making a decision as to whether to mask or unmask their own child? That's your argument doesn't make sense because it's not real. You don't have a position of small government. You have the position of big government. I'm still consistent. Thank you. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. But it's true though. So the CDC, here's something else. I got a couple of things here. The CDC came out this morning. They amended Florida's coronavirus numbers. Remember how I told you yesterday that the CDC was saying, no, there was record high numbers of coronavirus cases. This was Sunday, right? Florida Department of Health they accused the CDC of putting several days into one day. The CDC was like, oh my gosh, look at this record number of coronavirus cases. Oh my gosh. It's higher than anyone else ever in all these news outlets because everyone has a fetish with bashing Ron DeSantis. They're so terrified. They're absolutely terrified to have this guy as a future presidential contender. Oh my gosh, Ron DeSantis. Look at this. They were like gleeful over it. Look at all these cases. Except, as it turns out, the CDC put a bunch of days into one day. And the gap was more than half reduced when the Florida Department of Health was like, actually, these are our positive cases because you guys just like put all the same days into one. So these are the positive cases. Unbelievable. So they lied about it. So they amended it, and they've amended their number. Finally, they came out and said that they got it wrong. No, you lied. You lied. Now, and I'm not going to say that they made a mistake. They combined multiple days to represent one. And this wasn't the first time. For me to say a mistake I would have to be generous and not acknowledge all of the other times that they lied. When they lied about masks, when they refused to acknowledge the mere possibility of a lab leak. That's not a mistake. That's a lie. That's not being forthright and transparent. And these are the agencies that we're supposed to trust, but we can't because of stuff like this. This is my whole point. So this brings me to my next piece here. And now I'm going to get mad. I'm actually not, like I said, I haven't been ever mad with Vertigo Cane, so I have no idea what's going to happen here. I had the misfortune of reading a barely legible piece. It's so dumb. It's over at Washington Monthly. It says, Tax the Unvaxxed. It's by a woman named Ann Kim. She writes, people who refuse the COVID vaccine are imposing costs on society. Time to make them pay. Excuse me. She's a journalist. She's a think tank person. Think tanks are where people who can't talk very well, and so they're completely not useful in television. And their ideas are only okay when they have a bunch of other people to rub them off of. That's where they all go. It's like the hallmark of policy. You know what I'm saying? We have too many stupid think tanks because there's not a lot of thought that comes from them. Let's be honest. It's very, like everything else in DC, they're very misnamed. Anyway, so she has this piece called Tax the Unvaxxed. And she says that she starts off with talking about Sturgis. Doesn't say a damn thing about Rashida Tlaib partying it up at a wedding, maskless. She didn't say a thing about Barack Obama's birthday party, maskless. I'm fine with people going out maskless. I don't have a problem with it, but don't sit here and act like you got a problem with it when it's only people that you dislike. She's going after people who are bikers. These people, they're easy to go after. I mean, could you be more of a stereotypical liberal hack journalist? Could you be? Good grief. She says, she gets into this whole thing about Sturgis. That's how she sets her piece up. And then she argues that people who don't want to get vaccinated, screw whether you have natural immunity or any of your health issues. That's irrelevant. If you're unvaccinated high schooler wants to play football, they better be vaccinated. They want to ruin the lives of people who are unvaccinated, despite the fact, by the way, and I have to tell you, if these things behaved like vaccines and prevented transmission, I would have no problem with calling them vaccines. But just as I have an issue with having my speech controlled by the patriarchy and declaring that a man with a Franken beans is a woman just on days that he feels like he is, I also have a problem with saying that people can be inoculated against a virus when it actually doesn't prevent transmission. I feel like I need to keep, Kane, this soundbite from Rochelle Walensky just on standby. Can we play this again? Because this was on August 5th, ladies and gentlemen. And this is from the Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer on CNN. Can we hear this one time, please?
Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission.
Oh. So see, that's what the whole premise of this article on Tax the Unvaxxed rests on the presupposition that transmissions are prevented. Because these people they're not objecting to the severity of symptoms. They're not saying reduce your symptoms, blah, blah, blah. They're saying they don't want to get it or don't want it to spread, so you better get it. Except it's not actually stopping transmission. And that is from the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky. She used her own vocal cords to propel that sound through air out of her throat, through her mouth, and into her lav mic that then was sent to CNN's HQ in Atlanta and then pinged back to New York, where the studios for the sit room are, and then out to all of you. So she said that with her own mouth. I'm just pointing this out. So here's my thing, and I have so much more to talk about this. Is that the correct word to use if it doesn't prevent transmission, or is therapeutic? Because it's designed now to simply reduce the severity of symptoms. Is that more accurate? Boy, we have so many things to talk about. Because remember, all the mask mandates, I have the dumbest tweet ever for you on that. That all is affected by this. Please, you are going to want to hear the tweet that I'm going to share with you. It is just chef's kiss. Wait till I share that with you. We got a lot still coming up. As we get moving on, folks, our friends over at Keltec, they make scary boomsticks. They make guns. They make guns, right? Backwards, it's nugs. Actually, it's, I don't know what it is backwards. Snug, right? Yeah. Ooh. Hugs and snugs. Anyway, so our good friends over at Keltec, they make some pretty awesome firearms. They make the P50. I could sit here and tell you about the 5.7 cartridge and how it's great, blah, blah, blah. Everybody loves 5.7. It comes in the sporting, hunting, personal defense. Can we seriously talk about the Sub CQB here for a second, though? Because this thing is just BA. The Sub CQB is a folding suppressed rifle. that means, and by suppressed, I don't mean like John Wick shooting at Common in the John Wick, the second film, where it was just pew pew and they were in this very crowded mall. That's not what suppressors do. It reduces the decibel down to where it's just as loud as standing next to the giant speaker at a rock concert. That's actually been measured. The Sub CQB 9mm, it was all about personal defense. That's their whole thing. It was all about personal defense in mind. Super lightweight. The whole thing, plus the optic, folds in half. You can add a light. The whole thing, upper hand is yours. You have an advantage, but you're protected from decibel chaos. And by the way, anybody that has ever, anybody that you know, or maybe you've done it before, had to apply for a tax stamp, they'll tell you know how that feels like theft. This has 4 1/4 inches of rifling, 16-inch baffled barrel. So Uncle Sam gets only one $200 amount this time. This whole thing is awesome. Economy's built in. It's innovative. The whole barrel shroud is innovative. The way that it's designed, you have to check it out. Visit KeltecWeapons.com, KELTEC weapons.com. Check out everything that they have and tell them Dana sent you. How much equity do you have in your home? 50,000, 100,000, maybe more? Home title theft is one of the fastest growing crimes, and cybercrime experts are alerting homeowners that the more equity you have, the greater the chance that foreign and domestic criminals may come after you. So now's the time to turn to the experts that can keep your home safe. Home Title Lock, America's leader in home title protection. They're alerting homeowners that they could already potentially be a victim and not know it. So here's how it goes down. First, a cyber criminal can search hundreds of public databases for high equity homes, and then they can pull your home's title online, forge your signature stating that you sold your home, and take out loans using your equity. And you're not covered by your insurance, your bank, or common identity theft programs. So protect your most valuable asset. Register your address today to see if you could potentially be a victim and receive a complete title history of your home, a $100 value, free. Visit HomeTitleLock.com. That's HomeTitleLock.com.
Weekdays from 6 to 7, catch the Dave Glover Show on 97.1. It's the best of each day, boiled down to 1 hour. The DGS Highlight Hour. Every weekday at 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Spring is a great time to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with new windows. Mark Cox here from my friends at Window World. I'm a satisfied customer. You will be too. Call them today for a free home estimate. They'll show you why they are simply the best for less. Window World windows are so durable. They stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts and glass breakage and labor. They were ranked #1 in windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine, and they're the preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. Window World does great work, as they did in my home when they replaced 2 large bathroom windows. They measured them, they built them, and got them installed in no time. You will love working with my friends over at Window World. They're now offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Call them today at 314-993-1800, 993-1800, or windowworld.com.
How might this week's big stories impact your portfolio? Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale with Stifel. Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Eric Robert during On the Money every Saturday from 11 till noon right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can pay you cash and close in as little as 5 days. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis is your most trusted home buyer. We buy houses in any condition, any price range, and in any location in the St. Louis metro. Call 314-782-5000. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis buys inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses, and even those my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis today. Vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, get a cash offer in just 7 minutes. Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis at 314-782-5000. That's 314-782-5000. 314-782-5000.
Hey, Gary, how are things?
Things are great, but I crushed my mortgage payment with owning without even leaving my couch. I got a no closing cost refi at a great low rate, and owning did it all in less than 3 weeks. It was easy, no muss, no fuss.
Be like Gary. Call Owning at 855-5-OWNING and crush your mortgage payment with today's 15-year fixed refi at 1.875% rated APR with no closing costs. None. Zero. Even if you've refinanced recently, call 855-5-OWNING and let us crush your monthly payment even more. That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
NMLS 2611, subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
You can crush it too with a 15-year fixed 1.875% rated APR with absolutely no closing cost.
That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
For a limited time, Edwards Carpet is offering a thick 50-ounce carpet with a 20-year non-prorated warranty for just $3.99 a square foot, completely installed with pad, furniture moving, and take-up. With prices skyrocketing, this will be your last chance on a deal like this, so come on down to Edwards Carpet.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Sitting in for Annie is Dana Lash.
Listen to the Dana Show live on the Odyssey app. Weekdays noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
And now, all of the news you would probably miss. It's time for Dana's Quick Five, brought to you by Caltech.
I just saw this headline. China's state communist media literally invented out of thin air a Swiss biologist who claimed that the U.S. had pressured the World Health Organization into investigating the lab leak theory. The People's Daily, China Daily, their CGTN television, all the commie stuff, they were quoting this fake Swiss biologist. But then they secretly removed all of the quotes, didn't tell anybody, after the Swiss embassy responded to other reporters and told them that they had no record of this dude. China claimed that through this guy that the U.S. pressured WHO to probe the lab leak theory. Oh, they lied. Is anyone nobody's shocked. Nobody's shocked. It's communist China, right? I mean, for the love. It's like expecting fried chicken to not taste delicious. Maybe canceling the Keystone Pipeline wasn't a great idea after all. So Joe Biden is begging OPEC to bail out Joe Biden with gas and inflation. He wants OPEC to pump more oil above the 400,000 barrels a day that they're already implementing. We have a ton more in store. Stick with us.
Quick Five is brought to you by Caltech. Innovation, quality.
As a parent who once homeschooled her children, I can understand why many parents right now are looking for alternative options. Now, if you are one of those parents, you should check out Acellus Power Homeschool. Power Homeschool is the official program offered by Acellus for parents who are home educating their children. And at powerhomeschool.org, you'll see how this program keeps parents in control of their children's education by offering online courses right in your home, taught by some great teachers here in the USA. It's a way to keep your students learning at grade level while allowing for more parental influence and involvement. Parents are reporting that it's especially effective for struggling students and students with learning disabilities. And this is because Acellus is a homeschool learning accelerator. If you're going to homeschool, you'll still be responsible to get your students to spend time studying every day. But with Acellus Power Homeschool, they can get a quality education while studying at home. It's not too late for the fall school season. Check out powerhomeschool.org.
This is the Annie Fry Show, hosted by Dana Lash. Annie returns to 97.1 FM Talk at noon on September 7th.
Everybody has preferences on the flooring that they prefer in their house, of course. I love carpet. I think it's comfortable. I think it's cozy. I think it makes a house a home, but that certainly is not the case for everybody. A lot of people want nothing to do with carpet. If you are looking for carpet tile, hardwood, laminate, different kinds of tile solutions, or a luxury vinyl, you can go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and find a huge selection of beautiful flooring options that fit your needs. When you go onto their website at igotfloor.com, you can request an estimate. You can look at their in-stock products as well that they have specially set aside for you to be able to peruse. And you can see the different brands, the different finishes, the different colors, all of it there that they have for you at Michael's Flooring Outlet. Now, they have 3 locations. You can walk in and experience this flooring for yourself with a beautiful display out on the floor so you can really take it in for what it's worth. In St. Peters, Missouri, you can go to Darting Prairie, Missouri, also in Creve Coeur, Missouri. All of these locations available for you also online at igotfloor.com.
Hi,
This is Tracy, president of Acropolis Technology Group. I want to start by recognizing our team's exceptional hard work during this pandemic, and apparently our clients recognize it as well. We were just honored by not winning one Best in Business award, but 4 Best in Business awards. We won Best IT Firm, Best in Cybersecurity, Best in Customer Service, and Best in Value. These 4 awards are a culmination of our team's hard work every single day, all done during the most challenging year we've had in our 24-year history. What these 4 awards tell me is that we are recognized for being experts at our craft. We do it in a friendly way, and our clients see value from partnering with us. I can't think of 4 better awards that summarize what it is we do for our clients each and every week. Acropolis has been helping some of the region's best companies protect, optimize, and grow their businesses now for many years. We have done it for them, and we can help you too. To find out more, give us a call or visit us at acropolistech.com. That's Acropolis, TECH.com. Acropolis, it's a better way to manage IT.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peter's did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic, and the mysteries of life shall be revealed. Gaze into a crystal ball to see your future. Breathe in the exotic fragrances of incense, candles, and essential oils. Adorn your body with jewelry encrusted with mystical gemstones from around the world. Why many who enter the magical realm of the Enchanted Attic feel as though they have entered another dimension in time and space. But actually, in reality, they have just entered 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, home of the famous Enchanted Attic. This is Diane, and you need to come to the Enchanted Attic. It's mystical, magical, and a whole lot of fun. Open every day, free gift with purchase. You'll love this store.
Planning to chill out this summer? Ameren Missouri is offering up to $900 back when you purchase a qualifying HVAC system. So keep the heat where it belongs, on the grill. Find terms at participating contractors at AmerenMissouriSavings.com/HVAC.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct seal services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Improve border security.
There's more people than ever coming, and our government.
It's a humanitarian crisis.
No, I don't think it's a crisis.
Of course, I think it's a crisis.
The conversation starts here.
Crime. Because I am a mom too.
Spread sickness that could affect. This is home to us.
Where St. Louis comes to talk.
To hear what's going on in my city and in the world.
It's important to know the facts. Things that happen do affect my life.
97.1 FM Talk. Annie Fry returns September 7th. Sitting in today is Dana Lash.
Nothing here to see, just a kill I blame. Trying to cut some teeth, trying to figure it out.
Want a behind-the-scenes look at The Dana Show? Subscribe to Dana's Chapter and Verse newsletter for a deeper dive in all things Dana at danalash.com.
Do you think they should be mandated to be vaccinated?
Yeah, I'm going to upset some people on this, but I think we should. I mean, we are in a critical situation now. We've had 615,000 plus deaths, and we are in a major surge now as we're going into the fall, into the school season. This is very serious business. You would wish that people would see why it's so important to get vaccinated. But you're not going to get mandates centrally from the federal government. But when you're talking about local mandates for schools, for teachers, for universities, for colleges, I'm sorry. I mean, I know people must like to have their individual freedom and not be told to do something. But I think we're in such a serious situation now that under certain circumstances, mandates should be done.
Someone come and physically hold me right now. Hold me back. Welcome back to the show. It's good to be with you guys. DanaLash.com. I just, FYI, I feel like I have to preface this because some people are probably like, you're really weird today. Your girl's sideways, basically. I have mad, crazy vertigo and I'm still here. So I'm a little loopy, right? I know it's allergy-induced ear clogging and they're like, we can't keep giving you steroids. And I'm like, give me all the roids. So anyway, just this is where we are. I'm just letting you know that because I'm a little toddlerish today. So it's not a thing, but it is now. And that was, by the way, that was Anthony Fauci, who's saying, yeah, I know people like to have their freedom and stuff, but we're in such a serious situation. Do you guys remember in history class from high school when we were all taught about Independence Hall in Philadelphia? Imagine it. You have all the founding fathers there, and you have Ben Franklin who's there, and all the other guys that everybody doesn't know except for Ben Franklin, but we really do know them. I mean, we know James Madison, and we know George Mason, and we know all these cats, right? And remember how they all agreed, lo, thou also all have individual freedom, except in a time of a pandemic. Remember that? Do you remember when Thomas Jefferson, they had, and they accidentally cut it off because it didn't all fit in the envelope when they sent it to King George? Thomas Jefferson had an asterisk right in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and they put in there like none of this counts when there's a virus. You guys don't remember being taught that? Because you probably went to a real school, huh? Yeah. I had someone tell me, what rights are rights more important than living? Like, who dies for rights? Someone actually literally said this to me yesterday. I'm like, hi, have you heard of America? Like, for real. So America, I'm a meme when I respond to people now. Somebody will be like, hey, are you free? And I'll send them a picture of a bald eagle. Like, what do you think? Anyway, but someone actually replied to that and they said that, like, why are rights more important? Really? That kind of talk with Fauci, this is what Fauci should say. I wish this dude realized I'm not going to be, I'm mad at Fauci, but I'm not going to go out there and be like, oh, he's so unimportant. The fact that he is important, I wish that he would realize how important it is for someone in his position to not get into policy and stay strictly with medicine. So when he's asked these questions, like, what about mandates? That's what, you know what, if he was not so, he attends every interview that he's invited to. And I don't know whether that's good or bad because, again, he's asked the same stupid questions. What about a mandate? What about a mandate? What about a mandate? I mean, it's the same stupid stuff every time. But this is when he should go, you know what? I'm not in the position to make policy. I'm in the position to let you know what is happening with a virus, what is happening with transmission, what is happening with severity of symptoms, and just be as transparent and as forthright as I can be with the information that we have at the moment. That's what he should say. He should refuse to allow his position and the seriousness of science be diluted with the silliness and pettiness of politics. And that's why I get angry at him. Because it's not about staying in somebody's lane, and I'm so tired of this stuff. It's about how you got to know what you know and know what you don't. His strength is in medicine. It's in virology. That's what he does. His position, and the left doesn't apparently realize this, his job is to control transmission and mitigate the pandemic and the after effects, etc. His job is not to balance that with liberty. That is the job of the people to whom he presents this information. Their job is to balance the approach with individual liberty, not Fauci's. Fauci is not held accountable by the people. He's been in this position. He's been at NIH longer than I've been on Earth. Okay. It's not an elected position. It's not that he's not accountable to the taxpayer the way that lawmakers are. His sole job is to present this information and say, this is what we have. This is how I would deal with this virus. And then the lawmakers are the people who are supposed to balance that out and make sure that it's copacetic. Everything's all kittens and sunshine, unicorns and lollipops with individual liberty. And I think that if that good reporters would not ask stupid questions like that. They wouldn't ask that. Good reporters would ask questions that have to do with, for instance, like what we were talking about yesterday, interspecies transmission. So you technically have animal reservoirs. How many mutations are there currently? Are we going to be in an endless cycle of boosters? And are the boosters going to be, are they sequencing the genomes of these viruses and analyzing them so as to have a booster specifically for that variant? That's one of the reasons why we can't cure the common cold, because there's so many damn mutations of it. And it's easy. It's apparently, from what I read, this whole thing on the common cold, and I'm not even done reading it. It was like everything that science has tried to do to control it, and different mutations. There's so many coronaviruses. The cold is a coronavirus. They're always around. I wish that the questioning would approach from that perspective, because that's what I think people want to know. Don't you want to know whether or not they're going to be asking you to get boosters and all this stuff, 10 years into the future? Don't you want to know that? Here's another question. The increase in RSV cases. Is it possible for medical professionals to conflate or maybe even think that an RSV case is a Delta variant case? Is that possible? Are there tests available that can actually make the determination that RSV isn't the Delta variant, particularly in kids? Is that testing available? Do we have that? Because those are the numbers that are driving up how our kids are going to be educated this year, and whether or not they're going to be in a physical classroom or if they're going to fall more behind. Those are the questions that should be asked. This whole thing, what about mandates? Get out with that stupid question. I'm so tired of it. But I also think that you have to be actually intellectually curious about this stuff in order to ask those questions. And I don't think a lot of people in media are curious or intellectually curious. I don't think a lot of them are. I think a lot of them are fine with the way it is. Yes, we need to have these mandates. We need to have the government do this. So I'm only going to ask these questions that are in the realm of my interest and comfort. And that's one of the reasons why you get the same stupid stuff over and over again. I got to tell you that I got to share with you this tweet. Oh my gosh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I saw this the other day, yesterday evening. This guy's name's Chris Kolb. He teaches anthropology at Spalding University. He is on the Jefferson County Public Schools in Louisville, Kentucky. Mr. Kolb is on the Board of Education there. Calls himself a community organizer. He's a total Marxist. He has a quote saying labor is the superior of capital. And you know what vein he means that in. He had actually, and it was kind of amazing. He actually said this. This is an actual tweet from this guy. I'm not making this up. He said, he was quote tweeting this other woman who said, "Did you keep your mask on after the patients left? It can take an hour or more to clean infectious aerosols out of a small room. Just because the person is gone doesn't mean their airborne viruses are gone, et cetera, et cetera." Some things have shown, recent studies show someone getting infected in a bathroom 40 minutes later. Oh, so we have that evidence with coronavirus? I'm just curious. Is that what we have? The 21,000 employees at the CDC, do we have that? So this guy tweets this, quote, This is so important for schools. Keep your mask on at all times, even if alone. A person's COVID air can linger behind them for an hour or more. Their COVID air, guys. COVID air. And I retweeted him and I just said, air goes through masks. It does. N95s are good, but they're not like fitted to your face. Surgical masks. There's so many. I'm not going to go through this again. I talked about this. I wrote about it. I sent links out on this. All the studies looking at all these masks. I mean, you're crop dusting yourself at this point. Let's be real. I know that's like a very simple way to put it, but sometimes we deal with simple people, as just illustrated by my sharing of this tweet and the contents thereof. That's what it is. I feel like you remember Rip Torn in Dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, right? If you can smell a fart, you can get COVID through that mask, right? Very true. It's very true. Science. I mean, it actually is. So COVID air, man. The COVID air lingers. It sounds like an old 80s perfume commercial. The COVID air, it lingers, and Elizabeth Taylor comes out, and then this weird music plays. These have always brought me luck. How many times have you seen that commercial? Oh my gosh. Gen Z is like, what? Oh, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. COVID air, for the love. But this is how these people are thinking. So the taxing on the unvaxxed, this is where I get mad, because the idea that you should be taxed, even though we know from the CDC's Rochelle Walensky that the vaccines actually don't prevent transmission. I'm simply quoting her. We've played the audio of her literally saying that verbatim with her mouth on the airwaves. Can't just have it always at the ready. Because she said this herself. Listen, she said it herself.
Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission.
So is it almost like a therapeutic? Again, here's the thing with this piece and talking about willful vaccine resistors or hesitancy. They want to tax people now. You want to tax them for not taking a therapeutic, because if this is what we're looking at, and if this is an issue of just simply reducing symptoms and not limiting transmission, then why are we not calling them therapeutics? I mean, why would we not use a more correct term? $1 million question here. And why would we tax someone on this? I mean, why? And furthermore, I paid a epic ton in taxes. I always do every year. I've already paid. I've already had the government steal my money. The idea that we're going to tax the unvaxxed, you know what I haven't gotten as a return on the investment of my tax dollars, nor have you? We pay those CDC employees. Where's our data? Where are the answers to our questions? We paid for it. Where is our purchase? Because I have not received what I have purchased. Have you? I have not received data. I have not received clear, transparent answers. Instead, we've been lied to. We've been shamed. They've tried to bully us. They're talking about stealing more of our money through taxation if we don't go ahead and just do what they tell us to do without getting any answers. Only someone who doesn't pay tax or doesn't know enough success to realize the tax burden on the average everyday American would write something like this. And I hope that sounds as condescending as I meant it. We have a lot more on the way here, ladies and gents. That's when I get mad. I turn into my mom talking about Social Security whenever we talk about government theft, which is taxation. My kids are not allowed to refer to it in this house as anything but that. I'm like, no, we don't say income taxes. We say government theft. That's what it is. It's government theft. Let's be accurate about it. You can agree with it, but just call it accurate. We were about accuracy and science in my house, you know? Science. As we get moving on, my awesome friends at Delta Rescue. I actually was just talking to Robert Davi, a good friend of mine whose cousin is Leo Grillo, who runs Delta Rescue. And they did a movie together. It's called Magic, and it was all about the rescue and a dog bringing a family together, and it was amazing. This Delta stands for Dedication and Everlasting Love to Animals. And it is a 115-acre mountaintop sanctuary. And I can't tell you how heartbreaking it was for me to read about all of these animals that were just being that were adopted during the pandemic pets. And then either were surrendered to shelters like Delta, or they're a sanctuary, or they were just abandoned. And it infuriates me. You guys know how I feel about animals, particularly dogs. My friend Leo and his team at Delta, they go out and they rescue these animals that have been abandoned and abused in the wilderness, born in the wilderness. There are sanctuaries on a mountaintop, 115 acres. It's home to up to 1,500 animals. They have 2 veterinarian hospitals. They have a full-time medical staff there to care for these animals and give them the love and the treatment that they deserve to get from the beginning. Now, I know a lot of people are worried about what's going to happen with taxation. I'm one of them, because Delta runs off of people's generosity. You are the driving force in saving these animals. And so I know that a lot of people are hesitant about charitable donations. When you visit deltarescue.org/Dana, ask about my estate kit. You'll get detailed info on how to avoid paying more taxes and leave a long-term legacy to my friends at Delta. Donate today. Check out my estate kit at deltarescue.org/Dana. Pain is caused by many things and can affect every part of the body. If you're somebody who suffers from knee, hip, back, neck, or other pain, and you want a 100% drug-free option, you need to check out Relief Factor. All the key ingredients in Relief Factor help support the body's natural response to inflammation and pain and work to lower or even eliminate pain at the source. Take it from my husband, Chris, who suffers from pain due to old sports injuries. And after starting Relief Factor, he noticed a dramatic decrease in his pain after only 1 week and was able to get back to a lot of the activities that he really loves to do. The creators of Relief Factor, Pete and Seth Talbot, are so convinced that they can help you. They've created the 3-week quick start for only $19.95. To get the best results, Relief Factor needs to be taken regularly, and the preferred customer plan makes that simple. So get started and get your $19.95 3-week quick start plus a free gift at relieffactor.com or call 800-500-8434. Relieffactor.com, 800-500-8434. Whether you're brewing the perfect cup of coffee before heading to work or cracking open a can of 300 on your next backcountry mission, Black Rifle Coffee Company is here to fuel wherever life takes you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is a veteran-owned coffee company, and they serve premium coffee to people who love America. They develop explosive roast profiles and experiment with new roasting methods with mission focus to bring you the best coffee possible. Black Rifle Coffee Company is committed to supporting veterans, law enforcement, and first responders by giving back with every purchase you make. This summer, Black Rifle Coffee Company invites you to enjoy your coffee, not just in the great taste of America's coffee, but also the places you drink it and the passion and adventure it fuels. Take Black Rifle Coffee Company with you anywhere with their ready-to-drink cans and on-the-go packs. Visit blackriflecoffee.com/DanaTV to find what inspires you. Use code DanaTV for 20% off your first Coffee Club purchase, coffee and select gear. That's 20% off with promo code DanaTV at blackriflecoffee.com/DanaTV. Fuel your summer with America's coffee. Black Rifle Coffee.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free assembly and free delivery with the purchase of a new grill. They'll even haul away your old one. Plus, free fuel with every new purchase. From a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer, the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsacehardware.com.
If you've been dragging your feet, waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your credit card debt, start that overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call. Interest rates are still at historic lows and home values are at record levels. I am here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your dream home or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I hate expensive add-ons and fees, and I will give you straight answers while we customize a loan that perfectly fits your needs. So call me directly while rates are in the twos. 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC 224-143 NMLS 250353 APRs in the twos.
It's Mark Reardon from my friends Mark and Neil Gelman at the Gelman team. If you need to sell your house, you need to get with the Gelmans right now. This is a tricky market. It's a hot market, complex, multiple offers. You need experienced agents that you can trust to navigate through the offers. And how would you like to sell your home, but you're worried about finding your next home? Well, the Gelmans have a program to buy your new home before you even list your current home. So that's something to consider. It's a perfect time to sell your home. The homes are selling fast, some for tens of thousands over list. Couple examples. Here's Robert and Carla. They're in the process of building a dream home. When they turned to Mark and Neil to sell their home in the Wild Horse Meadows subdivision in Chesterfield, Mark and Neil ignited the home selling system in the coming soon phase. It sold full price $600,000. And Robert and Carla's dream home is now a reality. They can do it for you too. The Gelman team, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check them out today, 314-336-1991. Online at thegelmanteam.com. Certain restrictions apply. Get with the Gelmans today. You will not be disappointed.
Spectrum Business called their competitors to see if any of them could beat Spectrum's Business Internet Plus phone offer for $69.98 per month with no added phone taxes or fees. Here are real quotes from the competition.
How are they pulling in no fees and taxes? That's madness.
I would 100% go with Spectrum.
Even the competition recommends Spectrum Business. Call 855-339-5344 and switch to Spectrum Business today.
Competitor quotes from actual phone conversations. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show with Dana Lash.
Red meat, black coffee, truth telling. The Dana Show.
Can we just do air guitar for the Smashing Pumpkins? It'd be great. Welcome back to the show. DanaLash.com. We're having all kinds of conversations. And we're going to continue the on-air conversation as well. Coming up later on, we got Ken Paxton. I'm wondering what the state of Texas, the Republic of Texas, is going to be doing about these judges who are messing around, and they're going to mess around and find out, because they're demanding, no, we are going to have mandates. They want mandates. They want all of this stuff. So we're gonna talk about all of that with him. And I have to, let me pull this up. I've got a million things here. I have this too. We're going to talk more about this mask situation in schools. So a friend of mine says in an Ohio school district, if you're unmasked and vaccinated and exposed to someone, you don't have to do anything. But if you are masked or unmasked and unvaccinated, it's a flow chart, and it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So it's like a flow chart, and it's so ridiculously confusing. Like a whack bet is easier to understand. We're gonna talk about this and so much more. Stick with us. We got a lot more in store on the Dana Show.
Businesses are struggling right now, which means a lot of good workers are being laid off. If this has happened to you, contact your employer and ask them to look into the Missouri Department of Labor's Shared Work Program at sharedwork.mo.gov.
You've heard it before, and it's true. The easiest way to freshen up the look in your home or your business is with a new coat of paint. It's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, and with CertaPro, it's even better. You don't have to do the work yourself. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. These are local painting crews in our area. They do business and residential, whether you need interior or exterior work. You can trust CertaPro to deliver top-notch results every time. That's why I've hired them time and time again. Your free estimate is just a couple of clicks away at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. Victory Men's Health.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Advancing a major spending proposal. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Senate Democrats were able to move forward with the framework of a plan to spend trillions on so-called human infrastructure.
After Senate Democrats passed a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was asked about how certain he is of its final passage, given that some of the more moderate Democrats are hesitating over the cost.
Maybe the hardest work is yet to come, but we are united in a desire
to get it done.
This package would spend money on things like expanded healthcare subsidies, universal pre-K, and paid family and medical leave.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is urging all pregnant women to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The new guidance comes as hospitals in hotspots around the U.S. see a dramatic rise in numbers of unvaccinated mothers-to-be seriously ill with the virus. Pregnant women run a higher risk of severe illness from coronavirus, but their vaccination rates are low. Florida hospitals continue to see high numbers of coronavirus patients.
Nearly 14,800 hospitalizations were reported by Tuesday evening. That comes from the Florida Hospital Association, which claims it to be a record high. They also have 85% of all standing hospital beds being filled, as are 90% of standing ICU beds. About a third of patients in Florida ICUs currently have COVID. This as more school districts in Florida, including Broward County, vote to instill mask mandates, despite Governor Ron DeSantis threatening to withhold money for superintendent and school board salaries if they do.
Fox's Eben Brown. The Taliban seized 3 more Afghan provincial capitals and a local army headquarters today, giving them control of 2/3 of the nation as the U.S. and NATO finalized troop withdrawals after 20 years of fighting. U.S. officials say the Afghan capital of Kabul could fall to the Taliban within 90 days. America's listening to Fox News.
And paid for by Omega Auto Care. Attention eligible vehicle owners. If you bought an auto warranty in the last year, you paid too much, and you probably didn't get bumper-to-bumper coverage or maintenance included. So what are you actually paying for? What if we told you that you could get all these benefits and more for 40% less per month than what the other guys are charging? In these hard economic times, we have auto insurance for accidents, but when unexpected repair bills hit, our biggest expenses can be our cars. So why overpay for an auto warranty? If you own a car, truck, or SUV made from 2000 to today, you can stop paying for covered repairs. That's right, bumper-to-bumper coverage with maintenance included. Call now to find out if your car qualifies. 800-987-2905. Already have an auto warranty? No problem. Call us and we'll help you save instantly. Call today to get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. And ask about our free roadside assistance. 800-987-2905. That's 800-987-2905. Again, 800-987-2905.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summer weather still in place as we go through this Wednesday afternoon. It's hot, it's humid, it's breezy. We'll watch the sky for some spot thunderstorms. For the most part, fast movers. 95 for the high. Tonight, clear skies, very humid. 78 Thursday, hot and humid. A couple of spot thunderstorms again possible. 95. Scattered storms and 90 on Friday, cooler for the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Truth is in high demand.
We have delivered a safe and effective vaccine in just 9 months.
If Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Seek it out with us.
This is one of the greatest scientific accomplishments in history.
We are at herd immunity in our country because of a combination of vaccines and at least 100 million people who got the disease naturally.
Where St. Louis is coming together to seek out the truth. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res. Kids are getting ready to go back to school. It's very important to get your carpets clean. The pets and the kiddos mess up inside the home. I experienced that. And Zero Res is the only company I know that can basically remove all of that, make your home healthy and clean again. I just saw a Zero Res truck in front of my neighbors next door. And that was because my neighbor Michelle said, hey, do you have any recommendations for carpet cleaning? I said, absolutely. Call Zero Res. They use this ZR water to clean without using harsh chemicals and detergents. You can right now call 314-474-2020. Ask for the Mark Reardon KFTK special. It's the end of summer sale. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $129. And for air ducts, a free dryer vent cleaning valued at $75 with the purchase of an air duct cleaning package. Zero Res's whole home air duct cleaning is a 12-step professional source removal process that ensures your air duct system is cleaned to the highest standards. Book your appointment today. Get the special 314-474-2020. ZeroResSTL.com. Don't forget to ask for the Mark Reardon KFTK special.
This hour of the Antichrist Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock in Grafton, Illinois. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Sitting in for Annie is Dana Lash.
The Dana Show.
This idea that you're not going to answer anyone's questions or provide any honest data when you have thousands of people on your staff and you get our tax dollars to make sure this information is accurate, you wouldn't tolerate this in any other workplace. You know why we don't have interstellar space travel and all of this other stuff? Because we have some of the stupidest creatures ever known to creation that live on this planet. That's why. I just have zero faith in humankind. This is why I like dogs way better. They're infinitely nicer creatures.
The Dana Show.
We all need to work together. We need to limit our movements. We need to consider whenever we leave our house that anyone with us and anyone we come into contact with could convey the virus. So whilst it is in human nature to engage in conversation with others, to be friendly, unfortunately, this is not the time to do that. So even if you run into your next door neighbour in the shopping centre, in the Coles, whilst you're at Coles or Woolworths or Aldi or any other grocery shop, don't start up a conversation. Now is the time for minimising your interactions with others. Even if you've got a mask, do not think that affords total protection. We want to be absolutely sure that as we go about our daily lives, we do not come into contact with anyone else that would pose a risk.
That sounds super healthy. I really want her to say Coles Cash. That's the Australia's Chief Health Officer, Dr. Carrie Chant. I can't do an Australian accent to save my life. I'm Dana Lash. Welcome to the show. It's good to be with you. This Wednesday, everybody, you can download the Odyssey app and listen to the show too, 12 to 3 Eastern every day. And no apologies, 5 Central, 6 Eastern on the 1st. That sounds super healthy, right? Don't come into contact with anybody. Stay away from everyone could kill you. You might die if you smile at a stranger in the store. When you, that's what it sounds like, right? This is
almost word for word what she said.
This is Monty Python at this point. Run away if you see anyone. If they bare their teeth at you, it is a smile, but it could kill you.
Why are we treating this, that, by the way, is a 99+% survival rate, as a death sentence?
Kane, why would you ask logical questions? This is not a time for logic.
I don't understand.
It's not a time for facts or science. It is a time to freak out. That's what it's time for. Hysteria.
But I'm thirsty for science.
Well, we're all out of science, Kane. Sorry. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. We want you to forget how to socialize with people. This is what we want. I can't do an Australian accent, so you got to settle for a quasi-British one that might be slightly somewhat reminiscent of something Australian. But that's just crazy. I can't believe that they actually... Who sat around and was like, how are we best going to be able to tell people to avoid this? I know. Let's tell them that everyone could kill them. Sounds great.
Avoid your neighbor.
Avoid your neighbor. They might murder you. That's actually how they're talking about stuff.
Not everybody's neighbor is Rand Paul's neighbor.
Well, I don't know. We're in a new era. Like, for instance, this chick, Oklahoma school board member, Linda Sexton. Linda Sexton is the ultimate Karen. So this school board member, she furiously called for the Norman Public School Board to defy the governor's no mask mandate.
Contagious than the one we met.
She said that we need to get it changed. This is her actual quote. Do you have this?
I have this whole thing.
Oh, well, it's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's 1:50, but I have it all.
Okay, go ahead. We'll start playing it. We'll see.
I'm very, very angry about the idea that children are going to be exposed to a virus 5 times
Linda
more
Sexton.
contagious than the one we masked everybody for.
And actually
last year.
less deadly, not as deadly, but
I
that
want
doesn't matter.
to
He does it,
pursue
Linda.
the legal avenues that we have to defy Governor Stitt, and that's not how I like to pronounce his name, by the way.
Good for you, Linda. You're so smart.
I think if anybody's going to flee to virtual school, it needs to be the maskless. I don't think any parent with an asthmatic 6-year-old, 8-year-old, or 12-year-old should have to make that choice that their child can't go to school because some other kid is going to spread a germ that could kill them.
Oh my gosh.
Just goes all over me. I would like to
Follow
find
the
a way to
science.
stand up as a district and get our surrounding superintendents to stand up with us
She sounds
and
almost
protect our little
hysterical.
kids. It's insane to send 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 all the way up through 11-year-olds that don't have a choice about vaccine to sit in a classroom where people can spread a deadly disease and not even know they're sick, and not even know that in 3 days they're going to be sick, but they're spreading it today because that's the way it works, this disease. Just makes me furious that we're in this position. If I were a parent of a young child, I don't know what I would do.
Linda Sexton.
But I don't think we should put our parents in that position.
Did she say young child or just child?
Just makes me furious that we're in this position. If I were a parent of a young child, I don't know what I would do.
Maybe just young child, but still, you can still mask up the child if the child is vulnerable. There's nobody says you
She
can't.
sounds hysterical. And I think this kind of, honestly, this sort of like fear mongering is ridiculous. This is the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. I mean, she's saying, well, they're going to sit there and they're going to be killing people. These kids, they're not going to be wearing their mask and they're going to be killing people. I need to talk to the manager. What do they say? Out of all of the COVID cases, and I don't know the ages of them, children are fewer than 13% of the cases in Oklahoma, and it's way beyond less than 1% of any fatalities. And I put an asterisk on that because it's unknown whether or not those had secondary health issues, as the Wall Street Journal said that the CDC's numbers of the 335 kids did. And that was the study that they conducted with Johns Hopkins.
We have cut 15 too that kind of points.
Well, hang on, I'm not done. We're going to get to that. But she's apparently she thinks that she is a medical expert. She went on and on for like 2 minutes. Her background, and because she's accusing kids of murdering people if they don't wear a mask. So I think it's germane that she worked at an art center as a marketing person, just in Norman, Oklahoma. She would write and edit a little newsletter. She planned apparently and did some like newspaper events, like put stuff in the paper. And then she worked at a little cultural center where she did, all kinds of stuff. So everyone should listen to Linda Sexton, who clearly is an expertise on medicine, right? She has an expertise on medicine. And she thinks that, and I guess, I don't know if she has kids or not. She doesn't sound like someone that has kids, but I'm not gonna make assumptions. But this fear mongering is irresponsible. This woman should not be on a school board. How in the hell in Oklahoma do you get somebody like this on a school board? For real. Sitting here saying things like, well, it's not okay for kids to commit murder by coming to school without a mask. That's her direct quote. Do you realize that there are certain words that imply legal consequences when you use them? And to accuse, and that's abusive. What she said, she sounds like she is an emotionally abusive person, especially to kids. If you're going to accuse someone, because a kid who can't wear a mask all damn day for 8 hours a day, of murdering someone, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, you do realize that schools, and all of the data that has been compiled about schools from the beginning of this, schools have never been, nor will they ever be, considered super spreaders or centers of high rates of transmission. That's number one. Number two, your little mask, the surgical mask, it's adorable if you want to wear it. Okay? It amazes me that we wear heavier gear to paint, but you can just wear a little surgical mask for what Linda Sexton says is the deadliest disease, deadliest virus ever. There's so many studies on this that refute the premise that that little piece of paper on your face is going to protect you. And this is just God's honest fact. People can sit here and try to suppress the science that has already existed predating this. They can do whatever they want. That doesn't make it true, doesn't make their narrative true. I think that this woman should have been escorted off the school board. And I think what she said is absolutely, I think she sounds hysterical, unscientific. And this is not anyone that I would trust to be even to be alone in a room with my child, much less sitting on the school board making decisions about where the school goes and what policies are made. We don't need hysterical Karens like this who operate from a position of embarrassing ignorance. This kind of stuff, as a parent, that kind of garbage makes me mad. And then we have this situation, what I was telling you a little bit earlier. So in Ohio Department of Health, they have a chart that they're using in K through 12 classrooms. It's a flow chart. So this is supposed to guide the quarantine decisions. You have masks worn and masks not worn. So masks worn, a positive COVID-19 person and contact were masked. Positive COVID-19 person will isolate themselves from others and will be quarantined from attending school, extracurriculars, and athletics. Close contact does not need to quarantine because they were wearing a mask as long as they don't have any symptoms. But if close contact is fully vaccinated, they do not have to quarantine as long as they don't have symptoms. Close contact is recommended to wear a mask indoors for 14 days, monitor for symptoms. But if close contact is not fully vaccinated, they will have to quarantine from attending school and extracurriculars. Oh my gosh. Use this handy dandy, super completely confusing flowchart. Just first off, if you think your kid's sick, keep them at home. This always happens. Even when this is how flu gets spread, colds and everything else. If your kid's sick, they got a fever, keep them at home. It's very simple. This isn't rocket science, right? It's very easy. So coming up, we're going to talk to, on our third hour, we're going to talk to Ken Paxton about these judges granting temporary restraining orders against Abbott's ban on mask mandates. Abbott needs to rein these judges in, and we're going to talk to Ken Paxton about that here coming up. Now, I have a couple of other woke things for you, some wokery. Can someone explain to me what in the world is the less problem with Paw Patrol? The kiddie show? Every day, Google Paw Patrol and look at news articles written about this show. Am I missing something? I'm not even joking. Have you seen all the stories written about this cartoon? I feel like I need to watch it now. This is from The Guardian. Puppet Pups. Is Paw Patrol authoritarian propaganda in disguise? Dude, for real. You would not believe all the articles written about this. I have a couple of headlines. Like, for instance, here's another one. Paw Patrol is a Republican dystopia. Oh my gosh, I really need to watch the show now. This sounds amazing. I mean, just constantly. There are all of these hit pieces on it. I feel like we got to watch this. They say that I guess the left is mad about them for some reason. We're going to talk about this coming up. We're also going to get to, let me just tell you what else we have on deck to discuss. YouTube will censor you if you disagree with the government, even if you are a member of government. And meanwhile, the Biden administration is pushing social media platforms to expand their definition of misinformation. We're going to talk about the big tech hand in all of this. We've got that for you. And a little crazy CDC guidance of the past. That's why maybe people are doubting their credibility. Or we'll discuss this as well. We also will get into some of the how the infrastructure bill is a sham. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so you don't want to miss it. As we get moving on, our friends over at Raycon make the best wireless earbuds on the market, and Raycon's earbuds are fantastic. In fact, these they have super long battery life, something like 32-hour battery life. They are water and sweat resistant construction. They send gel tips for extra additional comfort, some more customized fit. And they sound better than any of the other brands on the market, except they are the premium brand. Raycons are, and they start at half the price of the other earbuds out there. They're actually truly wireless, no stupid stems, and they fit and sit in your ear, so they don't stick out and you don't have to worry about them. This is what I wear when I'm not on air and I'm doing my conference calls or doing a workout or whatever. Raycons also come with a 45-day happiness guarantee, so you can't lose. Get 15% off of your Raycon order at buyraycon.com/Dana. It's only for my listeners. Buyraycon.com/Dana and save 15% off on your Raycons. Let's talk about trust, something that's important to do with so much defunding and canceling going on. Do you know that many wireless companies support left-wing causes that take away our freedoms and pare down our traditional beliefs? Patriot Mobile is different. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless carrier, and Patriot Mobile has the broadest nationwide coverage and plans to fit any budget. They donate hundreds of thousands of dollars each year to causes you and I care about, like First and Second Amendment rights, sanctity of life, supporting first responders and veterans. There's no better time than now when we celebrate our freedom and Independence Day to check out Patriot Mobile. Switch today and get even more value. $100 off any phone in stock with a 1-year commitment, or 50% off your first 2 months plus free premier activation. Visit patriotmobile.com/Dana or call their U.S.-based, highly rated customer service team at 972-PATRIOT. Switch to Patriot Mobile, a company you can trust to support your values. Visit patriotmobile.com/Dana or call 972-PATRIOT.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Mike Parson is with me this afternoon.
You mentioned CBS earlier in your interview.
Oh, yeah.
You bumped them today. They wanted to interview me too, but I put them off for you. So you just remember that.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, Gary, how are things?
Things are great, but I crushed my mortgage payment with Owning without even leaving my couch. I got a no closing cost refi at a great low rate, and Owning did it all in less than 3 weeks. It was easy. No muss, no fuss.
Be like Gary. Call Owning at 855-5-OWNING and crush your mortgage payment with today's 15-year fixed refi at 1.875% rated APR with no closing costs. None. Zero. Even if you've refinanced recently, call 855-5-OWNING and let us crush your monthly payment even more. That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
NMLS 2611, subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
You can crush it too with a 15-year fixed 1.875% rated APR with absolutely no closing cost.
That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
Hi, this is Tracy, president of Acropolis Technology Group. I want to start by recognizing our team's exceptional hard work during this pandemic, and apparently our clients recognize it as well. We were just honored by not winning one Best in Business award, but 4 Best in Business awards. We won Best IT Firm, Best in Cybersecurity, Best in Customer Service, and Best in Value. These 4 awards are a culmination of our team's hard work every single day, all done during the most challenging year we've had in our 24-year history. What these 4 awards tell me is that we are recognized for being experts at our craft. We do it in a friendly way, and our clients see value from partnering with us. I can't think of 4 better awards that summarize what it is we do for our clients each and every week. Acropolis has been helping some of the region's best companies protect, optimize, and grow their businesses now for many years. We have done it for them, and we can help you too. To find out more, give us a call or visit us at acropolistech.com. That's Acropolis, TECH.com. Acropolis, it's a better way to manage IT.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Southern Armory is St. Louis's Second Amendment headquarters. Come in to see the most popular guns in industry. Ready to be quiet when you shoot? Come in to see the great selection of suppressors. Special loaders are welcome. Make sure to browse our selection of holsters, reloading supplies, bags, and other great tactical gear. That's southernarmory.com.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
The latest local forecast and severe weather coverage you can count on from the name in St. Louis weather.
This is 97.1's Chief Meteorologist, Dave Murray.
On 97.1 FM Talk. Powered by Air Comfort Service. Dana is back on 97.1 FM Talk. Annie Fry returns September 7th.
Your one-stop shop for the information you need to fight back. If you're going to have to learn stuff, you might as well enjoy it. The Dana Show.
And now, all of the news you would probably miss. It's time for Dana's Quick Five, brought to you by Caltech.
All right, so goodness, the worst rated Olympics ever. They plunged nearly 50%. NBC's having to hand out free ad space. Oh man, this is actually pretty unbelievable. NBC's primetime coverage had over 49%, basically 50% drop compared to the equivalent night from 2016 Rio, 53% less than 2012 in London. And they said that they've actually had to hand out free ad space because they can't sell this stuff. It's crazy. Batman's sidekick Robin comes out as bi after accepting a date with a dude he swooped in to save in DC's latest Urban Legends comic book. We're going to talk about this. Why? I mean, it's all about pandering. So here you have another comic book character, and I don't know. It's just why? It's all about pandering. You realize that Robin was really nothing more than a tool to show like Batman's, as a way to tell more about his identity than anything else, right? Right? No? Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about this. Also, Stevie Nicks has canceled a ton of shows, all the shows this year, and she says it's due to the coronavirus. She said that she goes, while I'm vaccinated at my age, I'm still extremely cautious. She says for that reason, I've decided to skip 5 performances that I had planned for 2021. So she was going to be headlining a spot this fall in Atlanta, and she was going to be at Austin City Limits. So Foo Fighters are going to replace her in Atlanta. Duran Duran is going to replace her in Austin City Limits, and heck, I may go to that. That's pretty amazing. So, but she said it's because of the Delta variant. She just wants to be safe, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, people have to make decisions that they think is best for them, and you can't fault people for doing that, right? Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, and Delta Airlines apparently will not require employees to get vaccinated, breaking with United Airlines' mandate that workers get vaccinated by October 25th or face getting fired. This headline, should not shock anyone. Inflation wiped out America's pay raises. Companies big and small, they were raising wages to attack workers, but now, thanks to rising inflation, all of that has been wiped out. We have a bunch more in store. Don't go anywhere. More of the Dana Show back after
this. Quick Five is brought to you by Caltech. Innovation, quality.
As a parent who once homeschooled her children, I can understand why many parents right now are looking for alternative options. Now, if you are one of those parents, you should check out Acellus Power Homeschool. Power Homeschool is the official program offered by Acellus for parents who are home educating their children. And at powerhomeschool.org, you'll see how this program keeps parents in control of their children's education by offering online courses right in your home, taught by some great teachers here in the USA. It's a way to keep your students learning at grade level while allowing for more parental influence and involvement. Parents are reporting that it's especially effective for struggling students and students with learning disabilities. And this is because Acellus is a homeschool learning accelerator. If you're going to homeschool, you'll still be responsible to get your students to spend time studying every day. But with Acellus Power Homeschool, they can get a quality education while studying at home. It's not too late for the fall school season. Check out powerhomeschool.org.
This is the Annie Fry Show, hosted by Dana Lash. Annie returns to 97.1 FM Talk at noon on September 7th.
How much confidence do you have right now in the economy staying status quo? That things are going to continue to go in the direction they're headed, or things are going to get better? how comfortable do you feel about knowing that things in a month, in 6 months, in a year are going to be the same? Well, rates are low right now. And while they are low, reach out to Stewart's American Mortgage to secure one of those low rates for yourself. Now, I know that you can go to any mortgage lender and acquire some of these low rates. When you go to Stewart's American Mortgage and you work with Stewie, you are going to use the bagel loan, which is going to save you all that money up front because he's not going to charge you the lender fees that every other lender out there will charge you for. Others will say they can do what Stewie does, and they say that they just roll the fees into the loan like Stewie does, but that's not what he does. He does not charge you for these lender fees. It's called the bagel loan because it looks like a zero, and that's what he charges you in lender fees. They don't exist. Trust me, I've done it myself. That's the real truth. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Stewart'sAMC.com, NMLS number 226715.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment, smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
The BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Sports, bets, and entertainment.
First comes love. Then comes sparkle. And that's where Diamonds Direct comes in. Engagement ring shopping is so easy at Diamonds Direct. Step 1, choose your perfect diamond. Step 2, choose your setting. Step 3, relax. Your Diamonds Direct engagement ring comes with a free lifetime warranty. That's no charge ever for sizing, cleaning, and routine maintenance. Step 4, the most important one. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Selecting a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you will make heading into retirement. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Choosing a financial advisor is a critical step in planning for your retirement. You want to find an advisor you can trust is working in your best interest with the experience to do the job well. Providing guidance solely in your best interest is foundational to our team's approach. And with over 90 years of combined experience, you can have confidence we have the depth of knowledge to help you navigate important financial decisions. If you're retiring in the next 5 years or need a second opinion on your current plan, contact us today for a free consultation. To schedule your free retirement planning consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with air conditioning services, repairs, or a new AC install from Air Comfort Service. They offer 24/7 emergency service too. For any air conditioning needs, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Real life, all walks of life is happening right now. In real time.
Hear about it
every single day.
Pay close attention.
Talk about it.
Let the American people see what's going on here. Some very big things. Oh, this is not reality TV. This is real reality.
Where St. Louis comes to talk.
Real people, real news.
97.1.
In real life.
FM Talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Sitting in for Annie is Dana Lash.
Politics, pop culture, and whatever else gets canceled, tossed in a blender, paid for by sponsored hate mail. It's the Dana Show.
How would you assess his 10.5 years as governor of the state?
In terms of his personal behavior or what he's done as a governor?
What he's done as a governor.
I thought he's done a hell of a job. And I mean, both on everything from access to voting to infrastructure, the whole range of things. That's why it's
Killing
so sad.
old people. I mean, he's done a great job with killing the old people. Welcome back. I'm Dana Lash. That was Joe Biden, the president. DanaLash.com, everybody. I'm going to tell you about my new Trapper Keeper that came in, because if you listened to us yesterday, you know that I was very excited about that. But I want to get to this other bit of audio. So Caitlin Collins, who works for CNN, she used to work over at Daily Caller. A lot of people don't like her. I've never met her, so I don't have an opinion. I'm just like, can we have questions that are being asked? She asked the follow-up question. Thankfully, somebody asked the follow-up question. She asked the right follow-up question. So after Biden says this, she asked this question, audio soundbite 2, and lo, Twitter lost its mind.
Can I quickly follow up on your comment on Governor Cuomo? Can you really say that he has done, quote, hell of a job if he's accused of sexually harassing women?
You asked me one question. I asked the substantive, should he remain as governor is one question. And women should be believed when they make accusations that are able to, on the face of them, make sense and investigate it. They're investigated, and the judgment was made that what they said was correct. That's one thing. The question is, did he do a good job on infrastructure? That was the question. He did.
As a governor.
No, the question was, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, how was he as a governor generally?
Well, the governor generally, obviously,
Outside of his personal behavior.
outside of his personal behavior.
But can
Okay.
you separate the two?
No, I'm not. I was asked a specific question.
They got mad at her because she asked a question, and they're like, "Cause you hate Caitlin College, they're so horrible." She asked a question. That's a legitimate question. They were saying that's a National Enquirer question. Dude, how is it? He was killing grannies and smacking fannies. How was that not a question that was not in some way not germane to the whole topic? Right? We're all in agreement here. Excuse me. We are all in agreement here.
He was governor when that all was going on. So.
Was he? That's right. Oh, and was he or was he not using his staff to write his book that he got like millions of dollars for?
Yeah. And to run interference on a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah. So that also kind of, that's how his personal behavior becomes part of his professional behavior. Now, we ain't doing this whole, well, I mean, I know he was grabbing butts and boobs, but however, no, there's not. He was doing this while he was in office, in the governor's office. Stop it. Not to say nothing of the murder of old people. Good heavens. That was Biden trying to back his way out of a bad situation. Oh my gosh. And it wasn't going to, he was struggling. He was on the struggle bus with that one. So I got a few things here, because that was truly an unbelievable exchange. And I was very glad that there was a follow-up. How are you going to have the president of the United States stand up there and be like, oh yeah, I mean, I think that he's done a good job. He's done a hell of a job. Gold standard. Wasn't that what it was? Gold standard. Remember this? Audio soundbite 3?
And the answer is, I don't fully know. We've been leaving it to the governors. Thank God the governors have been moving. Your governor of New York's done one hell of a job. I think he's sort of the gold standard.
What about, because Democrat governors are having a really hard time right now. What about audio soundbite 22, Governor Gavin Newsom? So he lost his mind. And well, this is about, I mean, if you were wondering how his reelection bid was going, it's going as well as this. Listen.
It'd be damn nice if our homegrown teams start focusing on what's right. Everybody outside this state is bitching about this state because of our success, and I'm proud of it. I'm not naive about our competitive liabilities, and that's why we're trying to address them. But I also think there's a lot to be proud of in this American dream, of which there's only one state with its own, and that's the California dream. Forgive me, Stephanie, I think it's still alive and well.
Yeah, it's not going real well. Sounds like it. Sounds like it, right? Doesn't seem to be going very well. Oh man, Democrat governors, one resigned, and then we'll see if the other one gets recalled. It's not going very well for him though. He made a lot of Democrats mad too. That's the thing. He made a lot of them mad. All right, so a couple of other things I want to make sure that we're getting into here. I'm going through because I know I'm missing stuff. People keep going back at I'm gonna come to the Rona stuff here because there were a couple of points that I didn't get to previously. I'm really shocked. Not really. Am I shocked about how stupid some people are? Do I really? Am I just being rhetorical in saying that? I don't know. Maybe I think I am shocked at how moronic some individuals can be when it comes to following simple science and logic. So we have this. I had discussed the video on Twitter of Walensky talking about how vaccinations, it's all about at this point reducing the severity of symptoms because it's not really going into it's not really preventing transmission. That's what she said, her own words. And I had someone, and this is really, this is typical of every conversation that I have about this. Someone said, well, how it's being described with Walensky is misleading. If you listen to the linked video, she's talking about breakthrough COVID cases in vaxxed people. And I'm like, hi, yeah, guess what? Hi. I not only listened to the audio a few days ago, but we also played it on air and I've written about it and we've listened to it on repeat. Essentially, your description of what she said is literally what I just said. You can't, this idea of, quote, she is talking about breakthrough COVID cases in vaxxed people, and me quoting her that vaxes only reduce severity of symptoms and not prevent transmission, there is zero difference. Stop being deliberately obtuse. No one can get around that. They cannot get around this. But we're going to mandate that everyone get this therapeutic. I'm telling you. So I wanted to touch on that because that's one of the things that's always, I see this being discussed and people are still pushing through with this whole presupposition that this is about preventing transmission when it's not though. That's the thing. I mean, it's that it's all about preventing transmission, but yet it's not actually doing that at all. So, as it relates to Florida, I had this piece here and I want to make sure that I get this pulled up. I know that Democrats are very, very excited to try to say that there's a massive amount of increased cases in Texas, etc. I was on Fox last night and I was talking about this. And Kane, we've reached out, and you can confirm this, to the Texas Health Department because we were wondering how. And the Texas Health Department, for all intents and purposes, confirmed that they were, and including those who illegally enter the country, they are including those positive case numbers to the overall case numbers of the county in which they illegally enter.
Yeah, they're counting the ones that are in custody, and I think that was the caveat there. They said the ones in custody. Now we know not all of them are in federal custody,
especially the getaways.
Right. So my follow-up question to them was, all right, that explains the ones in custody. Now, what about the ones not in custody? And we have yet to get a reply from them.
Yeah, we don't have anything from them on that. So basically, yes, if they are in custody, then those, and if you're in one of the centers, the hospitality centers, that's what they call them now. If you're in one of those centers, then you're technically in federal custody. And they are adding those cases to the overall count of Hidalgo County. And then, of course, they take those cases and they add those to Texas's overall numbers. And there have been thousands of people a day that have been coming through.
Yeah, even more than that.
And a lot of very positive cases. Right? So don't you think, especially since people who live in areas with higher rates of transmission, that is what triggers the implementation of the eviction moratorium, where the government then comes in and determines what you can and can't do with your property. It determines whether or not your kids' schools are opening. It determines whether or not you're going to see businesses shut down again. and it determines whether or not your kids are going to be even in school learning or not. That and a number of other things, vaccine mandate discussions, etc. Don't you think that we are owed transparency on whether or not these cases are being added to the overall number of citizen positive COVID cases, especially when transmission rates are the things that are triggering these mandates and lockdowns? To me, that seems like a really simple to answer question. So that's how I read Texas Department of Health's official answer. I'll publish all of that in the newsletter because I got a piece coming out about this tonight. I mean, to me, that is incredibly troubling. And of course, when the media is talking about this, the media tries to do a couple of different things. They try to say, oh my goodness, look at Texas's case. Look at the cases. Look at the increase. I literally saw, and I have this saved. I saw an article that was written talking about Hidalgo County. Hidalgo County's increased cases. You realize that that's RGV area. That's where everybody's crossing into, right? But then if you point this out, then Democrats say you're being so racist and bigoted by mentioning this. Am I racist or bigoted mentioning it? Or was Congressman of Texas's 28th Congressional District, Henry Cuellar, was he racist and bigoted? Because he also mentioned this. Congressman Henry Cuellar, who isn't a white trust fund socialist from Maine. Or is he bigoted? Or what about Judge Richard Cortez of Hidalgo County, who I don't agree with on a lot of things, but he's even been pointing this out. Or what about the majority of Border Patrol agents that are Hispanic Americans? What about that? I mean, I realize that the only time Democrats care about what's happening at the border is when they can use it as a political cudgel. And they don't care about the communities that are disproportionately affected by their mostly, WASPy serving far left policies. But that's such a weak attempt to play that card, to dodge responsibility for the consequence that is brought on by these damaging policies. I mean, and that's amazing to me. Still no discussion on this. And they've been going after Florida. I don't trust anything about Florida's numbers unless it comes from Florida Department of Health. Florida's been very transparent. How many times did they try to lie about Florida at this point?
At least 2 that we know of.
Exactly. At least 2. I mean, it's really kind of unbelievable. And they're going after Florida again. They're going after Ron DeSantis, demanding and really trying to, I guess, get him on. Oh, look at this. Look at your cases going up. Well, they were citing CDC numbers just until very recently. And then, of course, now you have the situation with DeSantis saying, well, for schools that are going to implement these mask mandates against parents' will, maybe there's some penalties that we can look at. Maybe we'll withhold funding for school boards, et cetera, or some of the salaries. And so now you have Jen Psaki, who says if Florida is going to withhold funds from these municipalities, then maybe the Fed will fund them. Maybe they'll withhold funds from Florida and exert pressure another way. They're going to try to make Ron DeSantis bend the knee. We're going to talk more about this as well, because the way that this is being presented is incredibly disingenuous. We're going to talk more about this. We have Florida Man actually on the way here in just a bit. As we get moving on, our friends at CarShield, they want to help you for any kind of covered repair, and they get it. Car repairs can be expensive. Nobody wants to see that check engine light come on, and you don't want to lose time and money having your car in the shop. So CarShield's going to save you time and money. It's a win-win. Taking care of a covered repair with their administrators at CarShield is super easy. They handle all the paperwork, all the payments, so you don't have to. There's no hassles, no headaches, nothing. They can save you thousands. Thanks to their protection plan, you don't have to worry about expensive repairs. You can go to a mechanic that you trust to do the work. Their administrators take care of the rest. They provide coast-to-coast roadside assistance, rental coverage, and trip reimbursement at no additional charge. So they've helped over 1 million drivers at CarShield. There's a reason why they're America's #1 auto protection company. Get coverage today. See why CarShield cars go farther. Visit carshield.com/Dana to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Dana. A deductible may apply. If you have back, neck, hip, knee, or any kind of pain, you need Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free botanical and fish oil product born out of 15 years of clinical practice. Owners Pete and Seth Talbot created Relief Factor to help your body reduce pain associated with aging, exercise, and everyday living. As part of an integrated health plan, Relief Factor helps reduce body pain in a matter of weeks. Take it from my husband, Chris, who's dealt with pain from his old sports injuries for years. He decided to give Relief Factor a try, and within a couple of weeks, he was in dramatically less pain. But he was skeptical, so he stopped taking it, and the pain came back. So he started taking it again, and he was out of pain once again. To get the best results, it needs to be taken regularly, and the Relief Factor Preferred Customer Plan makes that simple. So get started and get your 3-week quick start and free gift at ReliefFactor.com or call 800-500-8434. ReliefFactor.com, 800-500-8434. Nothing beats the feel of a luxurious towel when you step out of the shower. Wrap yourself in nothing but the best with the MyPillow towel set. Every MyPillow towel is made from proprietary technology that makes them highly absorbent and soft to the touch without that lotiony feel. Plus, with a 60-day money-back guarantee, you can try them for yourself and return them if you're not fully satisfied. Made with cotton grown in the U.S. and available in a variety of colors, each towel set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and a washcloth 2-pack. For a limited time, get the MyPillow 6-piece towel set regularly $109.99 for only $39.99 using promo code Dana. Visit MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener square. Enter promo code Dana or call 800-944-4975. While you're there, take advantage of the deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream Bed Sheets and MyPillow Premium Pillows. Get your MyPillow 6-piece towel set for only $39.99, only using promo code Dana. Call 800-944-4975 or visit MyPillow.com today.
If you're tired of dealing with a wet basement or crawl space and worrying about the damage it's doing to your home, call B-Dry, your waterproofing experts for over 60 years. B-Dry's proven and patented methods completely combat the most common ways water enters your basement, and B-Dry offers a limited time warranty. Call B-Dry now for a free estimate and save $500 off your waterproofing system. Call 1-800-966-2379 or BDrySolutions.com. That's BDrySolutions.com.
St. Louis has been hit with an onslaught of storms this spring and summer that have produced hail and high winds. The areas of Town and Country, Ladue, Maryland Heights, Creve Coeur, Kirkwood, Richmond Heights have had some of the worst storm damage. Even minor storm damage can cause your roof to deteriorate and leak over time. But you can have your roof checked for free by the qualified roofing experts at St. Louis-based First Choice Roofing and Construction. For over 12 years, First Choice has offered free roof inspections. If you don't have hail and weather damage, we will tell you. If you do, we work directly with your insurance company and your insurance adjuster to make sure you're maximizing the restoration claim for your home. Schedule your free roofing evaluation now by calling 636-282-0090. That's 636-282-0090. 636-282-0090. Or book your free roof inspection online. FirstChoiceSTL.com. That's First Choice with the numeral FirstChoiceSTL.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. So they protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts there month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection. ThrottleNet.com/97.1. ThrottleNet.com/97.1. Get started today.
Take a moment and rate your lifestyle on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is a life that's nothing like the life you were promised after getting good grades, a college degree, and a good job in corporate America. 10 is the life of your dreams. If you answered anything less than a 10, tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Tune in to the Del Walmsley Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Annie Fry returns September 7th. Sitting in today is Dana Lash.
The Dana Show, sponsored by 30 years of game-changing Kel-Tec innovation, like the P50, a new breed of pistol. Innovation, performance, Kel-Tec.
It's his life mission to make bad decisions. It's time for Florida Man.
Oh, man. I love people sometimes. So, a Florida man, excuse me, a Florida man named, what is up with this guy? So this guy is, his name's Michael Lewis, 59 years old, weakness, hiding ability. On August 9th, Hernando County Sheriff's deputies requested the assistance of a K-9 unit. They confirmed the location of a wanted subject, identified as 59-year-old Michael Lewis. So K-9 Justice arrived on scene. This is like a live-action Broforce right here. So, according to deputies, the Florida man, Lewis, he had been stealing cars, and he was trying to get away from the police, and so he decided to hide under a bed. And guess what happened? Lewis was bitten in the face and then in his right arm. He was treated at the hospital for his injuries and transported to Hernando County Detention Center. He's being held on $3,500 bond. He is being charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle and resisting without violence. Why in the world do you think that you're going to actually hide from K-9 under a bed? I know aren't dogs great? I love dogs. Dogs are the best. Give that pupper some extra treats. He deserves them. Yeah. Of course, that was probably a treat for him, I would have to say. Oh my goodness. Yeah, who does that? Who hides under a bed and thinks that they're going to get those are my favorite stories. The people who try to run away from K-9 units and police. It just never happens. All right. So I have a couple of other ones here that I'm trying to make sure are appropriate. This one, nope. I'm actually not going to do that. How about this guy? This guy was giving out a Jacksonville, Florida man. Another one. Or no, this one isn't Jacksonville. There's another Florida man who was apparently doing Botox treatments without a medical license in his house. Oh man, just Google bad Botox. Why would anybody do this? Why would anybody go to do this? Is the other question. And apparently they had, when people would go in, at least this is what an undercover detective discovered with this Florida man, they could choose between champagne and Four Loko in the waiting area, which was his house. Keeping it fancy, right? Keeping it fancy. He was so totally arrested because you have to have a license to perform these procedures. And they weren't even sure that he was actually even using proper. He had a whole bunch of stuff, including drugs that are not for use in a spa setting, apparently. So he was arrested and taken into custody. I would have immediately been sus at the Four Loko sitting there. I'm just saying. We got a lot more in store. Don't go anywhere. More of the Dana Show after this.
Spring is a great time to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with new windows. Mark Cox here from my friends at Window World. I'm a satisfied customer. You will be too. Call them today for a free home estimate. They'll show you why they are simply the best for less. Window World windows are so durable. They stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts and glass breakage and labor. They were ranked